Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in today. It's a privilege to come to you today with this very, very special presentation. Thank you for tuning in, Ground Zero. Thank you, Ground One. Thank you, AMBAZONIA, all across the globe. Thank you for tuning in to ABC. Again, it's always a privilege to come to you with updates on the Ambazonian struggle for independence actualization. That is what we have been doing for the past 5 years. La Republique du Cameroon refuses to renege. But we too, we have refused, ladies and gentlemen, to withdraw because we called for dialogue. They called for war, and we are all up to it. We have prosecuted the war for the past 3 years or 4 years, 4 years, ladies and gentlemen, for the past 4 years. And we are making our gains, and we will continue. We will continue to make those gains. The 2 cubes of sugar, the promise we're going to die or dissolve in 2 weeks or in a day. The 2 weeks of sugar have become their nemesis, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you for tuning in. For those of you joining by way of Facebook, please do me a favor. In the next 5 minutes, make it 1,000 people in the next 5 minutes. Let's get 1,000 people here on Facebook. And while you do so, let me see those of you who are on and joining, let me see what you are saying out there. So go ahead, hit your share button in the next 5 minutes. Let's make it 1,000 people. 1,000 people right here, ladies and gentlemen. 1,000 people. 1,000 people right here. All right, so let me see who is joining. I see you, Joe Fong. Bekula, I miss you. This thing is just rolling really quick. I see Eli Maxon. I see Abakwa Pekin. Wonderful, thank you. Ping Ann, I see you. Peter Francis Adula, Siri Victorian, is it Victorian? I think so. Lorraine Mokong, wow. His Royal Highness in bombs. Okay, Achiba Achundo, I see you, sir. I see also Martin Tasso, Diodone Kiang, I see you. Charles Inge, Miss Pat, so many. Please, in the next 5 minutes, 4 minutes actually, let's hit 1,000. I see the numbers are jumping right now. Hit your share button as you join in the next 5 minutes. Make these numbers up to 1,000. So many things have gone under the water while I was away. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I was never on any vacation. When they are trying to cover things up, they tell you people went on vacation. I have never been on vacation. I will not be in vacation while my brother and my other brothers are in the bushes. Okay? So please, let's do that correction. Let's do that correction. Hit your share button. Once more, I'd like to say good evening to all of Ambazonia Ground Zero. In particular, for those of you Ambazonians joining from Europe, I say thank you for joining. Those of you in China, in all of in China, all of Asia, thank you for joining. Those of you in Mexico, the immigrants, I learned so many of you out there in Mexico, trying to enter the USA. Thank you for tuning in today. It's my pleasure to be with you today. Again, we've got very interesting things to discuss today. I will be joined by the chairman for MESAM. I will also be joined by Comrade Abdul Karim, who did a brave, I mean, he joined Abdul carried out a brave act in Bamenda the other day with the killing of our baby baby Brandy, Tato Brandy, and again, Abdul will be joining me in the broadcast, and of course, we'll be talking about the exploits of our restoration fighters, ladies and gentlemen. They are growing in steam. Again, they are growing in steam. Ignore the little differences you hear here and there, especially in Goketunjia and in Bui. We will take care of those differences. We will take care. They are being taken care of. So please ignore that. Let us see the achievement, the victories that we are making in this war, and I will come to that. So please, again, once more, go ahead and hit your share button. Less than 300 to go. I need 1,000 in the next 3 minutes. So if you have joined the broadcast, on Facebook, go ahead and hit that share button. Let us quickly make it to 1,000 people. Why I come to you with the presentation, ladies and gentlemen. We'll also be talking about the school announcement that we brought to you the other day, ladies and gentlemen. I will also be talking about that. And for your information, I'd like you to know, some people have been asking whether there is a lockdown. There is no lockdown. The interim government has not declared a lockdown. So please, while we mourn for our children that are being slaughtered by La Republique du Cameroon, the interim government has not declared any lockdown, not in Bamenda, not anywhere. So Monday we'll go on with our regular country Sundays, and the rest of the week you go about your business, if possible, in the morning mood. I'm going to be talking about something I call, where is our outrage? Where is our outrage? So, ladies and gentlemen, again, let us quickly populate the platform. So that I can come to you. With the presentation proper. Let me make sure that my guest is right, is joining me, supposed to be connected. All right, please join. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I see the numbers are actually jumping. We're about 200 to go. Hit your share button if you have just joined. Go ahead and hit your share button. Many important things to bring to your attention today. So please, those who haven't received the invite, send the invite to them right now. Again, I will be joined in the broadcast with Comrade Abdul Karim. And the chairman of MEZAM will also be joining me by phone call. And we're going to be talking about the ongoings in MEZAM, the killings in MEZAM, and the exploits of our restoration forces. I am talking about General Okoro. Everybody hashtag General Okoro, the man in MEZAM. Hashtag everybody General Okoro, the man, and I mean the man in Boya. Everybody give Okoro a hashtag out there and say, General Okoro, we're looking up for you. You are the man in Bamenda. General Okoro did something marvelous the other day, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, you all are aware. Unfortunately, I can't bring you those images because they don't look good. They don't look good for television. Some of those images, we bring them here, they will shut us down. But all of you have seen those images on the social media. And I think when our ARF go out and carry out such exploits, let us learn to appreciate them, give them the praises that they deserve. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, we are less than 150 to go. We must hit 1,000. 1,000 before I come to you with this presentation. So please, if you have just joined, go ahead, hit that share button. I see again the numbers are jumping, less than, I would say, like 100 to go. Hit that share button. And again, do not forget, hashtag General Okoro. General Okoro, you are the man. You are the man. The man in Mezam. Yes, he has proven, ladies and gentlemen. Okoro has proven that he is the man in Mezam. Just as you have grandpa in Bali, you have No Pity in Ngoke Tunja, you have Isubu in Bue, you have Field Marshal in the BLM, and many others, many others. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, it can only get better. Ignore the differences, the differences within our ranks. This struggle can only get better. And let me say something that I observed the other day. You know, while I was out, some crook put out a fake tweet that Secretary Chris has resigned from the interim government. Somebody called me from Yaoundé and said the elites were celebrating. In fact, he said Ngongo, Professor Ngongo, dropped that little fake tweet in their little WhatsApp group, and they were literally celebrating. They were literally celebrating. Ladies and gentlemen, I will never be the reason why you celebrate. I will never be the reason why you celebrate over this struggle, over this struggle. Not going anywhere. Never intend to go anywhere. We just want certain things, ladies and gentlemen, taken care of, and I will be coming to that. I will be coming to that. But yeah, one day, those so-called elites, they were celebrating. Oh, the revolution is crumbling. Chris, I know is gone. Nah, lie. I never go anywhere. I never go anywhere. I know you go anywhere. I did hear Tankwe as at the top. So please, again, we have less than 45 people to go. I must have that 1,000 people, ladies and gentlemen. I must get that 1,000 people. That 1,000 people. I have to get it before I come to you. So hit your share button. Again, less than 40 people to go. Just about 30 something to go. We're going to get that. Thank you for doing so. Thank you for being that patient, because the issues that I come to you with are very, very critical. Again, we're going to be talking about the killings, not just in Bamenda, but in all of Ambazonia. And I have with me Abdul Karim, who has been at the center of the events in Bamenda. He was almost shot to death, ladies and gentlemen. I think he was saved by grace. He was saved by grace. We're also going to be talking with me and Abdul Karim, the CDN so-called retreat in Canada. The CDN retreat in Canada. We're going to be touching on that. We're going to be touching on that. And then I will come to you with a short monologue, improvised, on the situation, the state of the interim government, ladies and gentlemen. So that is what I'm going to be bringing to you tonight. Thank you once more for tuning in. And we have hit over 1,000 people on Facebook. All right, and so I will now take you, ladies and gentlemen, into this broadcast proper. All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you for tuning in onto the broadcast today. Of course, I am Chris Anu. It's a pleasure to be with you today after a while. And we know that so many things have happened. When I left here, there were the killings in Boya, the killing of little Caroline in the alley in Boya. And after that, we now have another killing in Bamenda. I think that was Friday. Then after that, today, on Monday Monday, ladies and gentlemen, we have the killings. The killings again in Boya. I understand that one person was killed in Boya today and another one was wounded. One person was killed, another one wounded in Boya. La République du Cameroon. La République du Cameroon continues to kill our people. La République du Cameroon isn't killing, ladies and gentlemen, our restoration fighters, because they cannot march. They cannot march them. They cannot march them. But they resort to killing innocent people and innocent babies. Babies who are harmless. Harmless, ladies and gentlemen. Children going to school. Children who cannot carry a gun. But La République du Cameroon has continued to kill our children. We saw it in Boya, and apparently the outrage wasn't enough. Then they took it to Bamenda, and apparently the outrage hasn't been enough. And this morning in Boya, they killed two, this time some adults. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say this to you. I've been hearing so many people talking about the international community. The international community. Let me say one thing to you about the international community. The international community isn't going to give us our freedom. We have to take our freedom. The international community hasn't given Somaliland their freedom. And so they will not give us our freedom. If you sit there hoping and looking for the international community to bring you independence, you fool yourself. We have to take it, ladies and gentlemen. We have to take it by ourselves. And taking it by ourselves means all of us demonstrating that we are outraged over what they are doing. The killings they continue to perpetrate over our people. So this is very, very critical. If we sit here thinking that the international community will come and save us, Somaliland has just recently, I think a few months ago, a month ago, that was in May actually, celebrated their 30th anniversary as an independent country. And yet, the international community has not as much as recognized the sovereignty of Somaliland. So many of you out there are worried about for how long this war still has to go on. I will say to you, this war is not ending tomorrow. But you know what? We have already arrived the point of no turning back. Again, we have already arrived that position, that point of no turning back, no looking back. What I will say to you from the perspective of this interim government is that we have to continue to fortify. We have to continue to, let me forget about fortification, talking about negotiation. We are no longer begging for negotiations, because I think, ladies and gentlemen, if negotiations were the answer, just imagine Somaliland would have negotiated a recognized territory for the international community to come in and open their diplomatic agencies, embassies all over Somaliland. No. If we let us remove why we pursue negotiations, a peaceful negotiations, ladies and gentlemen, let us know that only firepower will do the secret. When we begin to destroy every tanker that carries fuel to La République du Cameroon, when we begin to demolish every truck that carries French Cameroon terrorists occupying soldiers, when we begin to destroy all of their businesses in AMBAZONIA and render them, if possible, bankrupt to the level they cannot pay their loans, they cannot buy arms, they cannot import a foreign army, Ladies and gentlemen, that is what will take our country, and do not be surprised. We will take our country without a negotiated settlement, because we must determine in our hearts to get to the point where La Republique du Cameroon carries their army out of AMBAZONIA. That is the position, the destination we want. This is very, very critical, because the rate at which French Cameroon continues to slaughter our people, slaughter the innocent, ladies and gentlemen, only a tit for tat, a tit for tat, a tit for tat will give and we cause them to withdraw from our territory. And that is why I appreciate the work of General Okoro in the Santa for the revenge he carried out. The revenge he carried out, ladies and gentlemen, on the killing of baby Tato Brandy in Bamenda. I wish that every act of murder perpetrated by La Republique du Cameroon in our country can immediately, like in the indulgences you drop in the offering basket, can immediately be avenged as Okoro did in Santa. Ladies and gentlemen, we will have to take back the country. Let's forget about the international community. You know, we're talking about schools the other day. I brought you a message about schools the other day. They went to Kumba. They killed 7 in the classroom. And they went and picked up 4 innocent children and sentenced them by firing squad. Innocent children who were never at the scene of that event in Kumba. They went to Boya. A little girl, 5 years old, Caroline Ndiale, is headed for school. And they shot her and blew the brains off her head, split the head into 2, and it's pathetic. But that wasn't enough. They went to Bamenda. And the little girl, Tato Brandy, is returning from school. And they kill her. The images that I have here are not very good, very gory. You can see the little girl being carried there. You can see the mother. Let me bring those images to you before I bring in.
Very sad. They don't just confuse this village all, because the population where they come out to become all man. It's a very shocking something to everybody. So with all of this, it's not easy to take in.
She was really wounded as a result of the fire incident. The investigation...
That is the governor, the colonial governor.
The real reason of her demise. But I want to reassure you people that the author of the gunshot, the policeman, has been already remanded into custody. And after the investigation, he will be strongly sanctioned if it is confirmed after the autopsy that it is his gunshot that has killed that young girl coming from school. And it brings me to think of my own daughter, that if I've lost today my daughter, and the head of state himself has called me to express his deep concern after that incident, asking me to extend to the bereaved family
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the colonial governor says they have already reprimanded the police officer who killed the little Tato Brandon. And actually, the president, the head of state, as usual, has already sent his condolences. Do they really think that anybody believes a word of what they say? The head of state has sent his condolences. Now you will recall that in Boya, October the 4th, was it October 4th? November, I think it was November 4th, ladies and gentlemen, when they shot and killed the little Caroline in the alley. The colonial governor, Bernard Okalia, came out and he said, we are going to give little Caroline, a state burial, ladies and gentlemen. They were going to give little Caroline, the governor said, a state burial. I like to show you the state burial that they gave little Caroline. Look at the state burial, ladies and gentlemen. That is the state burial. That was the state burial that they gave little Caroline in the alley. Look at, not even a coffin, nothing. He is wrapped in a tarpaulin paper and is buried like a dog. Even a dog will be buried in a better way. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the state burial. Now they continue to kill our people and expect us to believe they will give them state burials. The head of state has sent his condolences. Did the head of state call the family of Tato Brandy? The head of state calls the governor. The head of state doesn't call the family of the bereaved. He calls the governor, who is an accomplice in the killings. I will bring in Abdul Karim now, ladies and gentlemen. I will continue my commentary with this. Comrade Abdul, it's a pleasure to have you, sir. It's great to have you. Thank you for joining the broadcast, sir.
Thank you for having me, Comrade Chris, and welcome back. You can see how much Southern Cameroonians miss you.
Well, thank you. Let's talk about the going-ons there in Bamenda. Now, let me say this first, Abdul. Let me say this. You did something that was very, very brave of you to do on that Friday. That was Friday, correct?
Yes, indeed.
That was Friday, right. You did something very, very brave. You know, we have supporters, millions of them on ground zero, standing behind this struggle. But we also have leaders on ground zero, standing behind this struggle, and some of them are even putting their money. Ladies and gentlemen, there are people on ground zero who are putting money, funding this struggle. But never has any of them stood out the way Abdul Karim did. I guess that was just impromptu. It was improvised. It wasn't something that was planned. You know, there are times you do things before you were like, wow, how did I get here? I think that was what happened in Bamenda on Friday when Abdul Karim joined the protest, carrying the baby, Tato Brandy, walking the streets of Bamenda and demanding answers from the colonial authorities, the invaders of our territory. I want to play this clip for you, ladies and gentlemen. You take a look at this clip of Abdul Karim addressing the population there in Bamenda. Take a look.
From God we came, and to God is our return. Make some person know should we begin. Should we go at the inside things say again our power. That begin don't die now because God don't live. But it is a coward who leaves the adults in battle to shoot at infants. It is the loser and the invader who kills innocent children coming back from school?
Yes.
500 francs. Francophone children commit murder in school. They do gang sex in school. They stab at other students in schools. They attack their own teachers in schools. Southern Cameroonians have not done this.
Thank you, sir.
Yet, they have not been fired by their own bullets. People are shot for one reason. Because they are Southern Cameroonians. Cool stop.
All right, again, ladies and gentlemen, that was Comrade Abdul there in Bamenda addressing that population that turned out carrying the baby turtle along the streets of Bamenda. Now, there was another video that I would like, another footage I like to bring to you. In this footage, we find Abdul on the street, almost shot, ladies and gentlemen, almost shot by French Cameroon soldiers. I'm trying to see if we can locate that footage here, but let me go with this. Let me go with this. You find Abdul Karim there. Leading the march.
That's good. This I was thinking this.
And I can see where because of this protest, they are approached by firing the Cameroon army, and Abdul was able to demonstrate his science in this situation. Even when they rain out bullets, on his team. Now, what I'm saying is very important and critical because we need this kind of resilience and leadership on ground zero, ladies and gentlemen. If we say we are leaders, we must always stand up when situations demand that we do. And I hope that watching what Abdul Karim, the courage that he put out there the other day, that anybody who calls his or herself an Ambazonian leader, a Southern Cameroonian leader, stakeholder on the ground, will learn to come out when the situation calls for it, as in this case. We've seen so many, I didn't see the women of peace running the street and asking what is going on. I didn't see any other men. The people I saw on the streets were Okada riders, young people. We need to see leadership on ground zero. And for doing so, Abdul Karim, I really want to congratulate you and appreciate you and say, hey, please stand in there. One day at a time, we will get them. Now, let me get to you, Comrade Abdul. Tell us about this incident. We understand this baby was returning from school, and she was shot dead around Amumezam. That is around, I think that is around my 2. I think it's around my 2, if I'm right, in Bamenda. Please tell us what exactly happened and how did you get there?
All right, let me continue by praising God and ask him to send his peace and blessings upon his messengers and prophet, and to the suffering people of Southern Cameroon and others around the world. I ask God especially to send solace to our families who keep losing their loved ones to the barbaric hands of the military of the Republique of Cameroon, with the most recent being the parents of our daughter, Brandy. Yeah, Sexy Chris, thank you for the kind words and for those encouragements. Just before I continue, let me correct something. The crowd in Bamenda were not parading the streets of Bamenda with the corpse of their daughter asking questions. No, they actually made a statement. They were not asking any question. Their statement was that it is either you leave our territory or kill us all. That was the statement in that crowd. They were not asking any questions, actually. Listen, it was a in the mosque already very early, but because this murder occurred 12:30 to 1 p.m. So, but I was already in the mosque, so I didn't know when this baby was killed. But my phone, because I have two phones, both of them written through our mosque. Because it's a Friday prayer, we have a long, which I'm pretty much in, and also the prayer. So I had two feelings. I said, oh, my country is burning, or there's a problem in the family. But I could not. So I had to endure till prayer. It was like 1:45, 1. So these prayers, I took up my phones and I realized a lot of calls from Ground Zero and Facebook signals and other applications, you know, or flagging this murder. Before I collect me, I was in a mode of pass out. I wouldn't say I fainted, but I was overwhelmed and I didn't know exactly where my head was. So Muslims around recollected myself for me, and I rested for some time. So, and then the Imam asked two other brothers to escort me home, stuff like that. But at the same time, there was a protest already at Commercial Avenue because I was at Old Town. And that time also, our people had taken the cops to the colonial office upstation and came down. All of this happened while I was at the mosque. When I got to places were blocked, by the way, so I had to use other road. I had to tell those brothers that, okay, now they have brought me how to go back, so it doesn't get late for them also. In Islam, a leader doesn't take, when a leader goes for dangerous mission, doesn't take especially unwilling people, or he doesn't drag people just like that into such matters. So I parked the car somewhere at a place called Tambesi. That is like 200 or 150 meters from the scene of murder. So I don't go out a lot in Bamenda, by the way. So when our people saw me on the street, on the middle of the road, they started coming together. So I walked on the middle of the road, and we have our community schools around there, which has been sanctioned by us all. So our people were angry and had blocked me. I had to solicit their indulgence to allow women and parents all together to take back home.
Yes, I'm hearing you.
So cars came to, it has been taken towards. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, you are breaking a bit, but hello? I can hear you. Go on.
All right. So the baby had taken at that time towards my 4. I'll tell you what happened. I just said that it was mile 4, which is a mile away from mile 2, or 1.5 mile. It was actually, they took that baby Bambili. So I went to the scene where the baby was killed and so on, and all I wanted to do is make sure that our people are under control. So like 30 minutes later, that is about 3:30 p.m., the crowd came back with the baby. They saw me from a distance, rushed towards me, handed our daughter to me. Of course, if you've seen all the footages, I had to thank God for everything by prostrating and reminding myself and others that it is from Him that we came, and to Him is our return. So just after that, and there's a lesson I learned there in leadership. Despite all the courses one would have thought he's taking, sometimes in leadership you have to be led even by the people you immediately lead. So I proposed something else, but the crowd said, no, I have to do something else for them.
What did you
propose? My proposition then was that, okay, now let's go to Banja Street, where the home of the child is. Hello,
Okay.
Secretary Chris.
Yes, I can hear you. You said you proposed that they should go to the home of the
Can you not hear me?
child. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Of the child, yes, we should go there now and decide. We decide how to bury. So, but the crowd said no, they were not done yet. That they have to take the child towards Mancon Center, because earlier on they had gone to station while I was in the mosque. So okay, I said fine, let's do it. So there was a crowd that took the baby from me, and they went a little bit further than us. They went through Ndamunkong. Ndamunkong is just like 100 meters away from the scene of murder. So they went into the ride, and we were going up. Two armored cars approached us. Our people were angry. Who are these people? Over 800 people, and I'll say 1/3 of that population were teenagers. People who were very angry. These guys approached us, and I asked everyone to raise their hands up. Those who had peace plans should raise those plans, and those who had nothing should raise their hands. I didn't want to give these thugs an excuse to shoot at us, thinking that our hands in the pocket would pull out something. So everybody raised their hands, and at that time, the crowd came closer to me and formed a ring around me. Some able-bodied men, and formed a ring around me, holding their hands as chains. So I told them, do not do anything, don't pick any stone, nothing. I mean, the people obeyed. Their hands were up, 2 bikes coming slowly towards me. And immediately, this guy get his armored gun mounted on the armored car and started firing. I've heard people saying those were shots in the air. No, those were shots at us. 7 people went down around me. It is only God that knows how. The bullet did not touch. The hundreds of bullets didn't touch me. So live bullets. Some even fell down undischarged.
Went down,
some fell down out of their
around
pieces.
you.
Yes.
Did any die?
To my left and right, yes, of course. So then, so as he shot, yes, I'm coming to that part.
Okay.
So no, he was shooting at us. Shooting at us means the gun was pointing at us on the ground. So it raised doors and the smoke coming from his rifle. But after he stopped shooting for like 5 minutes, or at least, yeah, about 10 minutes, it was heavy shooting, trust me, hundreds of bullets.
Yeah.
As the dust settled, God still allowed me to stand before him. And then our mothers, who were now hiding behind little tanks in some homes, you know, they do what Bamenda women usually do, this like that,
yeah,
and screamed my name. So the guy on the armored hit the door of the driver, asking him to reverse the vehicle. This is when I realized that the bearers of barbarism have been trembled in fear by the force of determination that merged in our people in their very existence. They reversed the vehicle and ran off. And immediately I started hearing people shout, "They don't shoot me, they don't shoot me." So we had to carry her from a medical center called PMI. Had to carry the people that were shot to PMI. And then, so I addressed a crowd there a little bit, asking them not to pick any stones, because this guy, I just telling that these people have a direct order to shoot and kill, and I cannot lead them into murder, into their own matters. So again, the crowd told me that what to do immediately is that we have to go to PMI. So this is again a lesson for all of us in front line. Sometimes the best way to lead is to let yourself to be led by the people you seem to lead, because you being a leader doesn't mean you're more intelligent, more qualified, more capable than the people you lead. It is only God's decision that at that time you lead. So this is the video you're playing now. That is when we went to PMI. So the doctors saw me. As they saw me, they came towards me and told me that please, they will only allow me into the theater. We counted 8 people. 1 was shot from town, that is while I was in the mosque, and 7 were shot around me. One was very critical. He was rushed out of PMI, and later on we heard that he died. And then 7, some were shot right close to their pennies. Some, the bullet came through to your stomach. One, the bullet came through his thigh. I mean, young men, innocent people. I was just kind of comforted that our women and children were not shot by these bullets. And your people said you're rather concerned because when I carried our daughter, the blood from her skull and her chest littered all of my dress. So our people were scared that I was also shot by that bullet.
The image you find on the screen there is that of the little girl, Tato Brandy. You can see the bullet wound is quite big right into the skull, the forehead. That was what killed her. Go ahead, Abdul.
Yeah, no, what actually killed this one, it hit her, but it didn't go through. What killed her was the one on her chest, that hit her chest to the back.
Oh, so it is important for Southern Cameroon. 2 bullet shots.
Yes, if you check your phone, you see one straight to her chest, penetrating to her.
I think we lost your connection.
From these people called Francophones, that she was pushed. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Go on.
Can you hear me now, Secretary Chris?
I can hear you. Go on.
I'm saying that, this girl did not even, she didn't even shiver on the ground to die. She was shot and she died immediately because the first bullet went through her chest, and this other one, it was a rapid shot. It's not a single fire. It's a rapid thing. So it hit her on the head, and the one on the chest, through her chest to the back.
Was she walking alone that, or she was in a group?
Said, okay. She was walking back from her school, Baile, the government Baile school, the Catholic school. She was walking the Baile, the government school in Baile. She was walking back from there to go to her house. And it beats me, and the world needs to know. It is impossible for anybody to run with a vehicle at mile 2. The potholes at mile 2 are found anywhere. I mean, there is no reason ever, except that there is no reason. Listen, Secretary Chris, on foot, if someone was running with a vehicle, you on foot would capture that person because there is no way even a whole run past those potholes.
Who was running then? How. The military truck or what?
No, because the taxi. No, these guys, taxi people and drivers of vehicles and vehicles of all sorts. They harass them to collect bribes most times. So he stopped this taxi. And he saw that the taxi was running from him, because I'm explaining that it is impossible to run in that place. There was no reason for him to fire at a time when pupils and students are returning from school. But he fired. This is a replication. It is a trend of activity. It is a policy to fire at us because we don't look like them. We don't talk like them. We don't think like them. It is a different. They don't do this to Cameroon. These fires only come when it comes to Southern Cameroonians. So let me finish the story for the benefit of our people. Can you still hear me, sir?
I can hear you. Go on, please.
All right. So at the time when we were leaving PMI, that was about 5:30. So we moved now to the residence of our late daughter. On our way up, priests have seen what is going online. Actually telling me that they have seen me online, so they had to come. So we had the priest of one priest from the cathedral, actually Monsignor Emeritus, Father Valentine of Baile itself, and of course Gabriel and other 2 priests. So they made us close to the residence of this girl. Father. Because also, the girl's real dad died in 2014. He was a police policeman saving the government has called him already in 2014. So they didn't know where the child was. So I asked our people to call the other group from town. They called the other group. Nobody could tell us, and there for like 40 minutes. And a woman, the only bike rider we have in our city, now came to say, look, La Republique du Cameroon has taken the child to the colonial governor's office. So I told her, you mean they have stolen the child? Because when you take things without permission of the state. So she said yes. So the crowd told me, okay, there's one thing you must do now for us. Go bring our child. They told me in front of the priest.
So, so are you saying
that
after shooting the child, they took the body away first?
Not immediately. Remember, I told you that the child was taken to the up station before I joined the group and returned. It is only when we were busy at
the child
PMI
up station. Is it the people or the military?
The military of the Cameroon took the child up station.
Okay.
Towards station, another information that I know the child is in the mortuary. There was this two southern bike. We were all trekking 4 kilometers that day, up and down. So immediately confirmed that the child is at up station. So up station was it then. As we started advancing towards what we call Finance Junction, I was told the child.
Comrade, you are breaking intermittently. Is it possible for you to log out and log back in again?
All right. Wait, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yes, it's better now.
All right. What did you hear last, Secretary Chris?
So you went off station?
No, I didn't go up station then, since you can hear me. So I was told that the priest was taking the... And the crowd again told me, you cannot go up station now. We need those parents. And of course, because I asked 4 people to guard the parents while we go up. And the priest didn't tell me they were taking her. But later on, they took her for a good cause. So now we had to go back to Baile Cathedral. We went there, and people in the Baile Church, people at the parish compound told us that no, they went. The priest took the mom and the father up station. Now it is later they think to me that people were tired and they decided to go. Well, logic, you know, though the crowd wasn't pleased that they didn't tell me before doing that, so they went ahead of us. We were like 2,000. This is a crowd you have to manage to make nobody dies. And now, do you know what time it was, Secretary Chris?
No.
7:30 p.m. So before we could even reach Finance, because the crowd was so big that you don't go past them. You want to control them to ensure that it is actually a peaceful protest, no destruction, no violence. You want to control that. And yourself, you are unable to do that flexibly because you are 100% under control also. Now there was a chain of about 20 people around me. They produced a chain by hooking and interlocking their arms together around me. So even when I see something to address, it was difficult. So the crowd would instruct me that, tell us what you want us to do, you stay here. So before we could reach halfway station, it was already 8 p.m. because there were also obstacles on the way, you know, vehicles coming up and down. And Father Gabriel called me to say, okay, yes, he has confirmed the child is there. And then also one of our comrades who had rushed up to come back says, okay, these guys have mounted water tanks, 3 of them, more armored cars, and soldiers are lying in the bushes. And I asked myself, for what? You kill our daughter and we don't have the right to express our anger? and you steal the child. We don't have the right to come get her. So the priests were calling me and begging. And I also, can you still hear me, Secretary Chris?
I can hear you
so
5 on 5 now. It's better.
Yeah, so, yeah, and then now bones were getting weak. So I had serious cramps. Southern Cameroonians had to carry me like a baby on their head. They ordered for one bike to come because they had asked the bikes to go. And so we proceed. So when we were at the foot of just at the foot of the end of the hill of station, Father Gabriel called me, because also, yeah, I will tell you, I have to tell you clearly, I delayed the crowd a bit. I was thinking it was totally dark, and if these people could fire at us in broad daylight, and Secretary Chris, like I said, that crowd, 2,000 going up, 1/3 of it were children in between 12 to 18. And I asked myself, should there be a massacre because I'm leading this crowd? Where will I put myself? So I kept delaying. There were times I deliberately would say I have to rest a bit. I kept delaying just to hear what Father Gabriel would tell me. And then he said, okay, Lele Africa has released the cops. So I told the crowd, okay, we wait here. And I told Father Gabriel, bring the child. As he descended towards us, before he could, they almost carried his car. So they brought the child, handed the child to me. And then I designated 4 people to hold the child, and they formed a ring around the child also. And then so we marched back to the baby's house. That crowd horse went back to the house of the baby. This was now like 9:30 p.m. And we were there for some time, for like 1 hour with the family, and then decided with the authority of the family of the baby that she was going to be buried the next morning, and it was going to be at Com, where she hails from, precisely Bingo. That's Boyo County.
Okay.
Yes, so some Southern Cameroonians.
I thought the name Tato is Manu.
Yeah, yes, it's plausible. It's plausible. It's plausible. Manu name, but it's plausible that somebody could adopt it. Well, I don't know if her biological daddy was from Manu. I don't know that, but well, so it was decided that we'll go to come in the morning. So the priest and some Southern Cameroonians, the crowd, said they were taking me back home, and I literally begged them to go for themselves to go take some rest and drink some water and enjoy the blessings of God. So I was taken home, and then very early in the morning after prayers, Father Gabriel, we had agreed that he picked me up. So he picked me up alongside other Southern Cameroonians. We deliberately didn't want to suffer the crowd. Secretary Chris, the crowd was ready to go to Boyo on foot. And I realized that these people were going to again want to attack any crowd in the morning. So we gently went. And my guess was right, because we went there and some still joined. They still came. The whole village came out, and those videos you have now, buried the poor child, rest her soul. But on our way back, I realized there were many controls on that Saturday, many of them from my 4 heavily armed. So I just imagined if there was a crowd again, So basically, this is I might have omitted something, but do pardon me. But that is what I know of the story.
All right. Thank you. Tell us again. You were in the front lines with the population. Have you heard from anybody since, from La Republique du Cameroon, or anybody that matters in that in particular?
Oh yeah, no, Secretary Chris. Listen. These are things I don't like making as public statements, but I'm not in contact with the Federalists, let alone anybody within the system of La Republique du Cameroon. It's a policy I made. And since you've asked me this question, let me take an opportunity. You see, we have our people who have decided to build walls. And my advice I want to give them is that if you want to build walls at this time, build it between humanity and inhumanity. Build it between the enemy and your comrades, not between comrades and comrades. The only reason a person would betray a cause is for money, basically. It's for money, Langatrode. Secretary Chris, permit me use the national station to tell Southern Cameroonians that I'm not boasting, but I did not grow in poverty. But I mean that people tell some of us, I didn't grow in poverty. And then I'm a hard worker. I work hard. And I have what it takes to make money. I didn't grow in poverty. And money doesn't count for me.
What are you talking about?
What the money I need is just my legacy, just to run my daily life. The big houses don't count. What men need more to betray a cause? I don't need that kind of money. I don't need it. That's why I won't want it. So it's important that our people realize, for me, anybody in the struggle who expends time creating rift, think about that person very carefully. It's either a lunatic, a very stupid person, or that is the real traitor. Those are planted agents who have nothing to do but to sow seeds. For example, Comrade Chris, what you're just explaining to us, that you're going to detail us, that you just needed some things to be said right in the house. In every family, there are these disagreements. But for what reason would anyone want to deepen the rift between two comrades who disagree on principles, who disagree on opinions, not on the struggle? So it's important. No, I've not had calls from anyone, but I would make a statement which I don't know, again, for someone to take out of proportion, because in the morning when I was going to come on Saturday to bury our child, I was told that La Republique du Cameroon entered Banja Street in civilian attire searching for some of the protesters. So I picked my phone and I texted Archbishop Kia and I told him, His Grace, you need to prevail on this government not to arrest a single protester, because if they do, they will have to kill all of us this day. And he told me that he has heard he will do something. So that is the only person so far. Yes, I've had calls, that were strange calls, but Secretary Chris is a policy by myself. I don't interact with enablers. The last time I interact even with federalists was in 2018 when I had a debate, a bilateral debate with Bala and Munzo. And that I said, okay, I'm not talking to these people anymore. When I make this firm decision, it's not because I'm shallow. I've had the conversation. I've seen where their head is. I've seen where their mind is. I've seen where their heart is. So you don't spend time on such people. You now focus on something else. So no, I've not had those calls. But again, if you want to know, yeah, diplomats, yeah, our diplomatic community.
What are the diplomats
yes,
saying?
Well, what would they wouldn't say much except that they want to know from me what's happening. Of course, yeah, Human Rights Watch, BBC, name them. All diplomats that you would be interested on have contacted me to know what happened. And trust me, I've detailed them. I've detailed them to the extent that even I can't detail on ABC.
Now, there is a problem with these diplomats. They are quick to pick on us when rook fighters who do not belong to this struggle go out, kidnap, and do some stupid things. They like to attribute it to us. But when La Republique du Cameroon does things like these killings we are talking about, you rarely hear them step out to say a word. Of course, Human Rights Watch writes, probably Amnesty writes, but the diplomats we are talking about who live in that country, they say nothing, nothing. Am I wrong?
That's right. That's right. There's one thing I learned about diplomats. When they stay silent, they don't mean anything. When they say yes, they mean no. When they say no, they mean yes. And when they tell you you're right, they mean you're wrong. What I've come to realize is that the diplomats that would expect them to their organs and arms that they use. For me, I would have been very worried if they don't even engage us to know what is happening. It suffices for me that they engage us to know, they document it, they are interested in certain details, and I understand their position. Diplomats are here working for their country. They are not working for themselves. I take this from weighing in from the attitude I saw with outgoing on the Secretary for African Affairs.
Comrade, when you say diplomats are there working for their country, then they should work for their country because they should not only know how to indict the separatists, as they call it. They should be indicting that damn government for all the killings, for all the villages burned, for all the internally displaced. I mean, again, you don't hear it, you don't see it, but they are quick.
You're right,
remember the Kumba school killings. I received messages, phone calls from diplomats in that country, and they pointed fingers at us as our boys. I mean, our boys doing that. Now, it turns out La Republique did it, and then arrest 4 innocent boys, sentences them to, firing squad. Nobody says anything. Those boys are still in prison today, waiting for when they will be shot to death. But the army that caused the genocide, perpetuated the genocide in Garebo, they are still walking free, even when that government has acknowledged that their soldiers did it. They are walking free. Where are the diplomats? I hope you're asking them these questions.
Yeah, of course, Chris, I do. And this is what I was saying, that you could see Tibor Nash, expressing himself a little bit better now than he could when he was in office. But I do understand you, and you should know that I feel more pain than you. And yes, of course, when I meet these diplomats, my tone isn't the same here. This is the thing. You know, people generally would recognize that the power of word is far stronger than the power that comes from the sword. But most times people respect far greater, in a better way, the power that comes from the sword than what comes from the word. I would not explain that statement, but I think you get me, because you alluded to that in your opening statement. This thing is about us. It is our determination that counts. So for me, sometimes what diplomats say and they don't say doesn't matter to me. My interest is what reports they send, for example, the United States to the State Department. Those reports come from intel from us, and how we follow up on that. We have to focus on our own demeanor, while, of course, acknowledging some of these one-sided attitude that we realize coming from the diplomat, excusing that on the so-called respecting the territorial integrity of La Republique du Cameroon, which is just false. I mean, the integrity of territory of La Republique du Cameroon does not include the territory of Southern Cameroon. Upon their independence in 1961, their international boundaries.
Abdul, I lost you there. You are frozen. Abdul, I lost you.
Oh, that.
Yeah, go on. I was hearing you, but again, yeah, you're back. I think so. Go on, please.
Oh, so you didn't hear what I said, all of it?
Yes, you were frozen.
Okay, yeah. So I was saying that I understand what you're saying regarding the one-sided attitude of these diplomats, and but you alluded to something when you started speaking. This thing is about us. It's about how we consider ourselves, and not what anybody defines us as, and not what anybody think we are. But at the same time, I say that I have some understanding of this diplomatic politics. So it is incumbent on us to work together, fine-tune our terms, be concrete in certain actions, be mature in certain approaches. And my concern is what message they carry back to their premiers. For example, the United States State Department. What message goes there from us? Basically, is the report and the information they get from us. That's what we need to push at all costs. They excuse their laxity and their one-sided nature on the claim of the territorial integrity or their respect for the territorial integrity of La Republique du Cameroon, which is a fallacy. The territorial integrity of La Republique du Cameroon does not include the territory of Southern Cameroon. By definition of granting independence, a territory's boundaries get frozen on that day. That of La Republique du Cameroon got frozen on the 1st of January 1961, and Southern Cameroon wasn't part of it. So again, yeah, I understand you. You're right. I see all of this politics being played while our people are dying. But again, it is our determination. It is for us to determine who we are and decide how we marshal through our independence.
Well, we will continue to do what we know how to do, and we will let them continue to mark the time. We came out the other day and stated that we would love to see schools shut down for a while we sit back and recalibrate what next to do. We are doing these things because the same international community has failed to listen to us. They accuse us from the beginning of shutting down schools. They accuse us of attacking students, attacking teachers going to school. We have spent time trying to explain to them we are not against schools. We want children going back to school. We have explained that our position remains the security of those children. And when you see what is happening in Boya, in Kumba, and in Bamenda, and we now take a decision to say, listen, we are going to take a break to recalibrate, look at reassess the security situation before we can allow students to go back to school. They have the impression, oh, you ought not to do that, you ought not to do this, and so on and so forth. But they have refused to come in to do something. We have asked for the United Nations, UNESCO, to come in, set some buffer zones on ground zero where children can go to school safely from the gun-toting thugs of La Republique du Cameroon. And they have not done anything. Which is more important, life or education? Abdul Karim, please give me your take on that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, the last part, Secretary Chris, so yeah. Which is more important, life? Yeah, I heard you, except for the last part.
No, I said, which is more important? Is it life or education? And if life is more important, tell me what is wrong with saying that children stay home until we reassess the situation before you can go back to school.
No, indeed, you're right. I mean, what is sacred to God is not anything else but life. And even in international law, the right to live in supersedes and superimposes itself on the right to learn, or the right to eat, or the right to get married. So yes, living is more important. And of course, you're right. We've invited the international community, especially the arms involved in the United Nations, UNESCO, to create buffer zones. But we know they are towing the line of France. They'll slowly do these things. However, what I think is that because we've never been against our children studying, nobody should even make that mistake. The question we've always asked is that can they? It's not should they. Should they go to school? Yes. Should anyone go to school? Yes. Should even animals go to school? Yes. Can they go to school is the question. Under what circumstances? However, I think what the interim government had done, which I find very impressive, is the encouragement of community schooling. Because at the same time, we realize that our children grow so fast today, Secretary Chris, comparing even to your own children back there in the diaspora. Children of 12 years already looking like mature women for marriage. So unwanted pregnancies and getting useless. And this is why beautifully the IG endorses community education, which is what I think the IG should further encourage. And again, the IG has passed on a very good message to parents. That's the situation. Assess it very well and think about it yourself. Is it conducive to send children to school? I'll say that, okay, I call on IG and other movements within struggle to ensure that the communities are well secured. We pray for the best, while hoping that the international community would see reasons to create the buffer zone. But again, like you said, international community, I've put them aside. It is on us. It is on us to protect our children in the community sectors that we endorse. So I understand you very well, Secretary Chris, and that statement which you made was the right statement from the onset. And again, now you've used a very technical word which is very appropriate in this situation, recalibrate, to amplify. Let's see what to adjust, which is what I think people did not understand in your initial statement. I think, Secretary Chris.
Thank you, Comrade Abdul. Let's move on to this CDN subject, the Toronto retreat that we've all talked about recently. Now, the members of ARC, which you are one, refuse to participate in the ARC retreat in Toronto. The interim government said they were not going to be part of the CDN retreat in Toronto. In fact, I will let everybody know that the interim government was invited during CDN's retreat preparations, and actually went in with the Foreign Affairs Secretary, Dr. Elad, to listen to the CDN guys explain to us what the retreat was all about. However, we did not just want to jump into it. We wanted to know a little bit about what CDN itself is all about. And you know somebody by what he stands for. And so the question we ask the CDN is, what do you stand for? Do you stand for a free and independent Ambazonia? Or what is your position as far as this war is concerned? Because people do not put up organizations without having a stance. And so the response was, we are neutral. And that immediately ticked me off and Comrade Elad. Because we do not understand how at a moment like this, we're seeing these deaths and the killings on a daily basis. And somebody who claims to be Ambazonian, if they don't like the word Ambazonia, let me give the word Southern Cameroons to them. But somebody who is a Southern Cameroonian comes at this moment to tell us they are neutral in a situation where justice is demanded. That took us off, and we decided we're not going in for CDN. Now you looked at the composition in Toronto, every sort of group that we do not even know, and except that we have now known that they are all one Cameroon movements, where the groups represented in Toronto. You have some of the list, some of the names there on your screen. Global Takumbe, I don't know who has heard about them. Southwest, Northwest, Women, something, SNWOT. The consortium doesn't exist. Ladies and gentlemen, it ended with the creation of the interim government. SCNC, yeah, we all know the NCNC. But which SCNC was in Toronto? Not that which is led by Comrade Elvis Commenta, AGOV-C. Of course, we know AGOV-C, ADF, has always fought on the side of La Republique du Cameroon. Then you have what? IG Kononge, not IG Care, IG Prison Yard. They were there. AMF, 7 Qatar, and so on. Psalm 91. I don't know what these things represent. Abdul, I'd like you to give us your critical look of this Toronto retreat. And again, the ARC movement, to which we all belong, took a stance and said we were not going to be part of that retreat. Can you formally explain to Ambazonians why, in your own opinion, you think it was a wrong thing to have done if we had gone there?
Yes, indeed. It would have been a colossal error for... Can you hear me, Secretary Chris?
I can hear you 5 on 5.
It would have been a colossal error for Team Ambazonia, the front that has been charged to prepare Southern Cameroons onto mediation and negotiation for their independence, to be at this time confusing herself amid federalist, unionist, and what have you. That said, let me begin with the CDN. The CDN by itself, I don't find it a bad thing, but I find it a very controversial organization. By standards of saying that they are neutral, these are Anglophones and Southern Cameroonians daring. Neutral on what? And then it calls itself a coalition. I need to know which groups have formed that coalition. A coalition is an amalgamation of different groups. So which groups form that coalition? It appears to me it's a group of Southern Cameroonians who want to champion something. So when I peel back here, I ask myself, when was it created? It was created sometime a little bit, I think October or late September of 2019. ACT was created mid-September or early September 2019. So it appears to me this was a parallel group. Team Ambazonia is not something that was created by Southern Cameroonians.
I'm not cutting you short there, but it will interest you that CDN was created right after ARC was formed. And I remember several times inviting their leaders on ABC to explain to Ambazonians what it was all about. They never agreed to come on ABC. Go on.
Yeah, right. So that is the inference I'm making. So it was created. I mean, listen, Southern Cameroonians, you need to know that Team Ambazonia Act was not a creation of your comrades. No, it was the part of the process of mediation. The mediator encouraged us and explained to us that we need to create a critical mass. A critical mass in nuclear physics is the fissile that constitutes the fusion in a bigger composition. So in politics or in diplomacy, you can say that it is the small number, but that has the biggest legitimacy. So they said we need to create it and have it open for Southern Cameroon. What you must also note, Southern Cameroonians, is that upon decisions that were embedded in the bylaws, that makes it so unique and could explain why things like CDN could emerge. Two things. Number one, no group or movement that would be created after the creation of ACT would be admitted into ACT, because it would highly likely be an infiltration group. Number two, no body or entity that does not stand for the total and complete independence of Southern Cameroon would join. Now, if you are met with these decisions, what would you do if you wanted people who do not represent what we represent to join ACT? You create something else, something that says you're neutral, something that brings everyone. Secretary Chris, these are, listen, in the CDN meeting in Toronto, let me go to that. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Hello? Yes, our comrades were there. You know, I share different views with you regarding AGOVC and the IGK. I share different views. And even, well, I agree, consortium doesn't exist, but I do recognize the efforts of Comrade Bakuro. I share different views.
But again, you are having a retreat of figureheads, talking about a consortium of Bakuro.
Yeah, no, let me make the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, go on.
Let me make the point I'm trying to make. I'm trying to say that my comrades were in that meeting. But what saddens me, these are comrades personally and as a team. We've invited them to join where the critical mass, which is called Team AMBAZONIA, they rejected those calls to the people who are enabling the killing, including the killing of this young girl. Who is an enabler? An enabler doesn't mean someone who has a gun or a knife killing you. It's someone who encourages barbarism. That is the person we call an enabler. The person who is implicitly encouraging the barbaric people. What are federalists doing? They are telling the Republic that we belong to them. They have the right to marshal on with their military, invade us, brutalize us, to put the peanuts onto them. These are the people our comrades choose to be with them. And you are in a place called Southern Cameroon, and there is a group there called Northwest Southwest Women Ward. And so what is at stake in the Southern Cameroons? What is at stake is that people are dying because they want to restore their independence. So then you call certain people stakeholders of that what is at stake. Sali is a stakeholder. Omar Esther is a stakeholder. Agbobala is a stakeholder to this thing. No, Agbobala is a stakeholder to one Cameroon, not for the independence.
Abdul, what is interesting is the take that some of the diplomats that were mentioned earlier ago are having about this Toronto thing. I mean, some of them I've spoken with some of them in Yaoundé, and they said, I think it was a mistake. You people should have been there, you know. You should have gone there. And I said to him, sir, Mr. Ambassador, if we go there, we'll look stupid. None of these groups represent the aspirations of the people of Ambazonia. We will look stupid to go and sit among unionists and federalists. Talking about what? Agreeing on what? There's nothing we agree about. And something that people have forgotten is that there are only two parties in this struggle. There is the unionists, whether be he a federalist or whatever, will our Republique of Cameroon, and the independentists, who is you and me. So, for somebody to say that, let's go join the federalists, join the unionists, join the peace crusaders, and talk about, I don't know what we will talk about, because we are going there to agree to disagree. So it doesn't make sense. And again, I don't understand when some of these diplomats still come in trying to push an agenda. Tell me, have any of them reached you to say, hey, it was a wrong decision you guys made?
Yeah, reached me not to tell me it was a wrong one, because I think I spoke with the major ones before that CDN, and I explained to them why we'd be there, and they understood. They told me they truly understand. Secretary Chris, what we should know is that no country, not these guys, would tell you that they really, or actually in their hearts of hearts, will want us to have our country. No. Some of them don't care if we do or not, but most of them would want things to be like this because of their own. So it doesn't matter what they think and what they don't. But what is important is always to make them understand why we would never be considered cowards. So I made them understood. I asked them simple questions, and they gave me answers. I asked them what is at stake in Southern Cameroon. They explained. I said, so are those stakeholders? You know, so this is the thing. The CDN was premised on the Swiss-led process that the same people have been bashing at. Without the Swiss process, which ACT has been holding on to, that CDN meeting in Toronto would not have occurred. They were hoping to hear something else from the diplomats invited. By the way, all of these diplomats who went there, in ACT, and some of us that they were going.
I mean, it was amazing.
Chris, do not forget.
You see the number of diplomats at that meeting. It was amazing. And I was asking myself, if the IG or ACT called a meeting of the same caliber and invited them, would they have been there?
Oh yeah, don't forget, Secretary Chris, those diplomats that were there, you have met them times without number, and some of our comrades were happy to have met them for the first time. You know, I wouldn't want to mention them by name or even by country, but you've met all of these guys and more. But this is the thing. The important thing is that the diplomats told them what we've been telling them, that there's one process, and that is the Swiss-led process. Join it and amend it. Joining it, they know what it means. All the diplomats understand and recognize that the one thing holding the Swiss-led process is Team Ambazonia. Join it means go and join your comrade who are already sitting on that table. I think the CDN was going to champion themselves or pride themselves as a champion of amalgamating Southern Cameroonians. And I'm telling them that all Southern Cameroonians are Anglophones because we speak English, but not all Anglophones are Southern Cameroonians. People who have rejected our statehood cannot be Southern Cameroonians. They are Anglophones. St. Chris, if you are in the US and you reject the state of the United States, you cannot have their passport. So people can be even from the same womb like me. But if they reject the statehood of this country, refuse our territorial integrity, they don't belong to the country. So this is the whole idea. But the thing that sickens me more is the ignorance that certain leaders carry. Because if this is not ignorance, tell me what it is. Perhaps wickedness or stupidity. At the level where we are, after 4 years of heavy articulation, 20,000 people dead, over 20,000 with some dying in chains, over 80,000 in refugee camps, over 400 villages burnt with some parents in their houses, over 1 million people displaced. This is the time when mediation is lurking in the dark. Is the time you want to be talking to federalists? And what sickens me is that these are people who have been telling us about enablers, about traitors, and you refuse to sit with people who are unified with you in purpose, but you want to sit in a room and enjoy Bala and Omam Esther.
By the way, let me review.
Understand it.
By the way, let me make some revelation here. I don't think I ever mentioned this to you because I learned this only recently. I was told that the CDN actually gave some of our names to the International Criminal Court as those pushing crimes, whatever crimes, in La Republique, I mean, on Ground Zero. My name was particularly there. Somebody saw the list and told me. And here you have people saying, let's go sit together. When they are reporting us, I won't be surprised if your own name is there. If Dr. Sako's name is there, if Tum von Bosheber's name is there, send to the ICC by the CDN. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what you should know about that organization. One thing they have never told us, we've never seen them do a single fundraiser. Never. But they put conferences here and there, and you can imagine that a Canadian conference didn't take them less than $30,000 to put it together. And you will wonder, who is funding these conferences? Have you thought about that, Abdul?
Oh yeah, I've thought about it, but I think that not be a big problem. Given that, yeah, they mustn't make their first public. That's number one. And like I told you, a lot of international partners would like to work
you
with
right.
those so-called.
They don't have to make it public, but if you are fighting for a cause, it's a public group. The people have the right to know your funders. Right.
No, CDN as a group is not fighting for our cause. There are individuals within CDN whom I know are fighting for our cause, but as a group, no. They are into something else. They are there to challenge ACT and perhaps torpedo ACT. They are not fighting for our cause.
They are there
so this is
for
what
anything peace. Peace. That's all they want. Ceasefire.
It's not even peace. It's not. If they are there for peace, if they are there for peace, Secretary Chris would have been better. They are there for normalcy. You see, all of these people, these women preaching peace, they want normalcy. Things should just go back to how it was, where they enjoy with their family, travel left and right, have meetings while others are suffering. That isn't even.
I think I lost Abdul Karim there.
Because when they go to the village, everybody comes out. That's what they want. It's not peace. They want normalcy. Listen, Secretary Chris, and I want to thank you as part of ACTS for holding the Swiss process and making your position very stern. True liberators in the international communities love you. People who want oppressors to stand over oppressed, they will be liking things like CDN. And I will tell you that people have never appreciated those who stand against oppressors until the day victory comes. This is how simple it is. So the genuine countries that recognize the need for humanity to stand above inhumanity are always silently supporting causes like that which you stand for. And sometimes the weak things, you will see it having some positive sideness, but it doesn't mean it is the right thing, and it doesn't mean it is even supported from the heart of genuine people. I think I don't know if I'm making myself clear, but that's how it is.
Absolutely. Well, comrade, thank you for joining me. I look forward to talking to you again. I really hope that the feed that you put out there, standing on the side of our people and sympathizing with them, that many other Ambazonian leaders on the ground, we do the same. We need to see Ambazonian leaders emerging, because diaspora alone will not get this thing develop wheels on ground zero. We need leadership emerging on ground zero, especially at this moment. Comrade, thank you very much. Remain safe out there, and look forward to talking to you again.
Thank you, Secretary Chris, for having me. Thank you, Southern Cameroonians, for the prayers. Please keep praying for us. And please, there is no time anymore for savagery. We don't have time for rigidity. We have to look up to us as us alone, like orphans who have no children. Stand by your brother, defend them, even when they are wrong before the enemy. Don't let anyone downplay your brother before you. If Secretary Chris, for example, has a misunderstanding with maybe Abdul Karim within a system, don't let anyone talk about it by you. It is your family problem. People should go face their own family problems. Southern Cameroonians, let's hold our hands together, recognizing that it is only us that will change ourselves. No new person will come. It is the same us who will change ourselves. Thank you, Secretary Chris, and I wish you, viewers of ABC, a better day with Secretary Chris as you follow the rest of the program.
All right, thank you. You have a great evening out there in Bamenda. Ladies and gentlemen, that was again Abdul Karim joining me from Bamenda, shedding some light into the events of the past days. There happened the killings in Bamenda of the little girl, Tato Brandy. We are hoping that the international community will begin to do something with these killings, because we cannot just sit watching and accepting them happen on a daily basis. But not only the international community, we are hoping that our own people will start to copy the example of Comrade Abdul Karim, standing up to the aggressors in spite of their cannons and their guns out there to kill more. They killed 4 by the end of the day on the Friday. But again, we have a rising star. We have a rising star in Bamenda, who immediately, ladies and gentlemen, avenge the killing of those 4 people in Bamenda. I am talking about General Okoro of Santa local government. He brought down 7, I think the last count was 7 French Cameroon terrorists occupying soldiers in our territory, who were probably coming from spying and extorting from our people. They took them down. I like every Ambazonian fighter to listen to me on ground zero. Listen, French Cameroon soldiers, they will never be your friends. They are enemies. They should not leave. Even you, the civilian, you live around any French Cameroon soldier, or they live around you. They are not your friends. They are your enemies. And if you have your way, don't let them leave. We have to make the ground so hot for them, so they realize they are surrounded by enemies, Ambazonians who don't like them, who do not want to see them. We must, day by day, go after them until we have driven all of them, chased all of them out of Ambazonia. And I think if every general, every FM, field marshal, every commander, every camp in Ambazonia begins to do what Okoro did, what Grandpa is doing in Bali, what FM of Ambazonia is doing in the BLM, what FM No PT, what FM Isubu, they are all doing in their respective communities. I am telling you, I can assure you, La Republique will cut and run in less than no time. Yes, they will cut and run in less than no time. I can't drive this message home to you enough. I think the time has come we realize the world, the international community, America, Britain, Canada, they're not going to give us freedom. If they could, they would have given to Somaliland. They are not going to give it to us. We will have to take it. And let's remember, it is war. We will use every crook means to get there. I have with me online the chairman of Mezam County, who has been talking to General Okoro. I would like him to share with us the state of things up with in Santa with General Okoro. Hello, Mr. Chairman, sir.
Hello, Senator Chris. Can you hear me?
I can hear you 5 on 5, sir. I hope General Okoro is out there strong and safe.
General Okoro, our proud General Okoro, is doing just fine. He's doing just fine, and he is well, and all our boys, all our restoration fighters, our marshals, they are doing exceptionally fine, and they have been rekindled. They have had a lot of courage recently. They've had all that we need to boost them, to boost their morals, as we saw in their actions. That just go a long way to tell the invading enemies that it is not business as usual. I must reiterate on this point that General Okoro is highly spirited, and our boys, our marshals, they are ready to face the challenge that lies ahead of them, and they are also ready to act swiftly and precisely when one of our daughters or one of our children is tampered with going forward.
Now, it's been quite a number of days since that attack at Matazam. Has La Republique gone after him?
As of the moment, they haven't gone after him yet, but we do know for sure that they'll be strategizing to go after him. And that is one of the reasons why we might, or we have, or will be keeping a lot of details about the whereabouts of General Okoro, so that they can also strategize and wait for any imminent attack.
And is General Okoro fortified enough for any attack? I'm talking in terms of material.
Oh yes. I must say that emphatically. You could see from the retreat after their successes, you could see exactly what he was carrying behind him. And that is just the tip of an iceberg, because what we have in stock, I would not want to give it here, but the Republique invading forces should be ready to get something bigger than a surprise if they dare go after him. It is not business like before.
Now, Okoro has carried out a number of attacks along that stretch of the road, both of them almost at the same location. You will recall when Dion Gute went up to Bamenda, he was the one at that location. He almost took off Dion Ngute. I guess when Dion Ngute went up to Bamenda, they were not well equipped, because I think if they were like last Friday, was it Friday or Saturday, they would have taken him out.
Yes, Secretary Chris, I think you can say that. Many people would think they were not well equipped, but again, these are some of the security issues that could not be brought to the public. We had a clear situation at hand, but because they knew for some reason, I think our intelligence was compromised, and so we could not carry out any action with surgically. So what General Okoro did was just a signal. He just sent a signal to John Gute that you cannot just come to Mezam. You cannot just come to Mezam and go back without taking a pinch of Mezam. But then what he did was very significant, even though we did not register any big successes, if I must say. But I think he's present. John Gute is present in Northwest, in the northern zone in Mezam. And what happened that day sent the international community a message that things are not the same. And again, Secretary Chris, to answer to your question precisely, is just that General Okoro did not have a clear shot, because his position was the intelligence was compromised. So he just had to send that signal and then retreat with the boys. You know, at this time, they are it's a guerrilla warfare. So we take the lives of our boys very seriously, and anything that will jeopardize their safety, we prefer to retreat and re-strategize.
Now, I understand that La Republique occupying soldiers now have the technology to detect IEDs along the route. Is it the same thing with other equipment? Are they able to detect those other equipment that you and I will know about?
I would want to say that might also be a propaganda. They might have the equipment, but they have not used it, because we've recorded a lot of successes in the whole of the northern zone using EIDs. So if they say they have the technology to detect it, I think they are just using their eyes and trying to move ahead to see if anything is not looking very normal. Maybe the earth routes, if they not look very normal to them, they might be able to, anybody might be able to say, oh, this place looks abnormal from the normal, earth, we have most of the roads are earth roads. So when they see such but maybe an intrusion or maybe a protrusion or stuff like that, they might be able to take it out. But again, I will not refuse the fact that they might have this technology. They might have it, which is okay, because we also have other materials that they will not be able to detect. And I think we could see that from the back of General Okoro. That is just one of the bird sticks that we have. And believe it or not, most of our boys, most of all the strategic locations in the northern zone will be having such equipment so that we can protect, defend, and send back the enemy.
All right. What help, what support are you looking from Ambazonians for General Okoro?
I must take this opportunity as the chair for Mezam to send out a plea that if you were doubting, if anybody was doubting our capabilities in Mezam, I think the time is now. We have a rising sun, we have a rising star who is bent at nothing but to deliver the goods and deliver it bigly. So I'm calling on all Ambazonians and friends and well-wishers of this struggle. Any person who calls himself an Ambazonia, please rally behind our one and only Okoro. Well, not one and only in Mezam, General Okoro. Let's give him what he needs. Let's give the marshals what they need to deliver the goods that we expect of them. They have shown, they have proven their capabilities. All they need is continuous support so that we can have our armory stocked and let them be armed to the teeth. We don't want a situation where they will run out. As of now, they are not dry. They have a lot, thanks to some of the harvest that we got from these recent exploits. We are still calling on all Ambazonians. I'm calling on Mezam. I'm calling on Fako. I'm calling on every Ambazonian. Please, let's rally behind this valiant general and the marshals of Mezam to let them deliver what we really want for this year 2021. 2022 is going to be the defining year for us. We don't want this struggle to extend up to another year, God forbid. But if we have to take 2020 as the end of this armed conflict, let us rally behind those who can deliver. And we have General Koro, who is ready. He's ready with his boys, who are, again, well-trained marshals, well-trained and disciplined. I must say this, Secretary Chris, I must say this. This is one of its kind. These are the cream of those who want to actually liberate us from this tyranny. These are the people, the kind of generals who want to actually take us to Boya. Not the generals, not the fighters who are causing havoc in their communities. Not the fighters, not the generals who are taking or disarming other violent fighters who are ready to fight. By that, I know you know what I'm talking about, and I'm know those kind of fighters I'm talking about. We want generals who go in the field and deliver what Ambazonians have contributed their money to deliver. We want fighters that are brave, that have a lion heart to go out there and defend our mothers, defend our children who are suffering in the hands of La Republique. We want fighters who can take into consideration the suffering of our masses, the suffering of our people, the suffering of our mothers. We want fighters who can go out there, not fighters who are their main target is to, cause so much pain to their people, disarm and torture their own soldiers who are ready to fight. Secretaries, I am very emotional in this because my LGA falls in that category where they are fighters who are not fighting this revolution, they're fighting us, fighting the federal marshals who have been trained to deliver goods to us, just like Okoro and some of the boys or some of our marshals who were in these very, very successful operations. Once again, I must stress, any county, any LGA that have fighters who are not fighting, please, they need to reconsider their stance. It's either you are fighting for this struggle or you lay down your arms and run to a neighboring country and stay there, because we have fighters who are ready to fight, but they cannot fight because they are intimidated. They are intimidated, they are threatened, their lives are threatened, their families are threatened, and they cannot produce, they cannot go out there and defend us. Now, this is a warning that is going to all the counties that are harboring such generals. Our fighters, our trained marshals and fighters who took up arms to defend us they do not belong to anybody. They did that on their own. They did that on their own, and nobody can claim ownership of them.
Absolutely.
This is going specifically to the Bafut LGA that has been usurped by the Seven Kata. This is a direct warning to the Seven Katas who are not, by now we know where they are fighting, but they should allow our trained federal marshals to carry out their operations where they are supposed to carry it out. They should not interfere with our operations. If they don't want to fight, that is fine, but they should not disturb. They should stop arresting federal marshals who have been trained to carry out these operations.
All right, comrade, we're going to get to the Seven Kata issue on another occasion. But I would like to ask you, if Ambazonians want to support General Okoro, how do they do that?
All right, so thank you for that. Sorry for going out of this, but I had to bring this because when we have a general like that who is doing what the AMBAZONIA people want, we have to call those who are not doing what we want to order.
Right. No, we will get to the bottom of what is going on in Darfur with Seven Kata on another occasion.
Right, yes, I go back to that. Please, like I said again, I am soliciting for support. It doesn't need to be big. Whatever you have, a widow's mite, please use the Federal Treasury, the National Treasury. Sending your support, we'll be sending that out. I think you have it on. You have it with you, right, Secretary Chris?
Unfortunately, I don't have that information ready here to put on the screen. If you can probably just pass it in the fora, that will make some sense. I don't have that information, but the only thing I can say to every watcher is, please, if you find a donation list, a fundraiser making the rounds in your forum for General Okoro and the fighters in Santa, please give your widow's mite. Let's encourage them. Let's support them. Let's make them understand we appreciate when we see good work. We appreciate it. So again, Santa will be Mezam will be passing that fundraiser list around in different fora. Please support them. Support General Okoro in Santa. We need to see more action. Comrade Fusi, I said to somebody yesterday, if we can take care of that Santa or Bamenda upstation Mbunda stretch of the road, and also take care of Tico Douala stretch of the road, I am telling you, La Republique will not dare send any reinforcement in our territory. Now, they try to send helicopters. We will bring them down. We have equipment to bring those things down.
Yes, Secretary Chris, we have the equipment.
So I really hope that Ambazonians will encourage, please, General Okoro and the boys there. We saw what they did when Dion Ngote came to Bamenda. We saw what they did a few days ago, bringing down that French Cameroon truck with I think how many soldiers? 5 or 6 or 7?
No, there were 7 in number.
Correct. With one civilian.
I think the last count was 7.
Correct. Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we need to do that. We need to stand with them. We need to let them know we acknowledge their good work, their bravery, and their resilience with our donations. Yeah.
One last thing. I just want to reiterate on the point that on the fact that yes, we have the materials, but again, we also need to have our armory filled to the brim.
Correct.
We are actually pleading with every Ambazonia, every corner of Ambazonia, please, when you see the payment portals for your contributions, whatever it is, $10, $20, $50, $100, $200, or even $1,000, please, you will be happy that you donated, because General Okoro and the marshals will not fail us. And that also goes to all the generals, like General Grandpa of Bali and all the other generals, General Nopiti, who are there to support us, who are there to protect us, protect our children, and to take us to Boya. Please, whenever there's a support drive going out, let's do our best to send in our widow's mite. This is my honest plea.
All right. Thank you, comrade. Thanks for joining me. I hope everybody heard that. Please let us stand with General Okoro, support them so they can carry out more of that action in that county, in Mesa. Thank you, comrade, for joining me, sir.
Thank you so much, Secretary Chris. Thank you for everything.
All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was again Mezam County Chairman, Comrade Tio Fossey. I will go out for 1 minute. When I come back, I will bring you my talking point on the issues here at the interim government of Ambazonia. Now, some of you know I've been out of here for a while. I am going to talk a little bit about it so that those of you who have been wondering and being misled can understand exactly what is going on. I will not be giving you much of the details because the Restoration Council, that is the supreme body in this interim government, is looking into that. But I am going to bring you some little clarification so you have a true picture, a true insight as to what is going on. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. After this, I promise to open the phone lines. I promise to open the phone lines for a few phone calls before we call it a day here in the broadcast. Fellow Ambazonians, I have made a number of calls while serving this interim government when I saw there was trouble at the corner. You will recall that I stood up when Condenge came to confiscate, I use the word confiscate, your interim government into the prison yard. We fought against it. We saw danger coming, and we fought against it because we knew if the interim government got into the prison yard, those in the prison yard could use it, could trade it for their freedom. And we have seen it in the course of the years that if they had the interim government being governed from the prison yard, they would have long negotiated their freedom with the interim government, and the struggle would have been over. We also saw efforts by those who defrauded the interim government, confiscated money belonging to Ambazonian people in my trip to Boya, and attempted to go scot-free. We fought for it. We demanded for an audit, and an audit was conducted. And the blame, of course, we could not recover the money, but at least Ambazonians knew at the end of the day who stole their money, who embezzled their money. And they launched efforts after efforts after efforts to get the president, Dr. Sako, out of power. They just wanted to hijack it at all costs. You all will remember the APNC that held in Philadelphia, and the announcement that came up after that dismissing Dr. Sako, dismissing Chris Ano. We fought against these attacks on your interim government. But the important thing is these attacks were external attacks, and we all, I mean all of us, all the structures of this interim government, then there was not yet, I think county by county were just picking up. We only had the thing that was vibrant then where the counties, the countries and the regions, the countries and the regions. But we had the Restoration Council, and we had other little arms of the government. County by county was coming up, or LGA by LGA was coming up. But because the threat was external, we stood up against it and fought it like one man. We fought it because we knew intruders coming in to grab the interim government meant destroying this struggle that Ambazonians are paying for with their lives. We fought it. We got the interim government to come out of it a little weakened. But I am glad to say, along the way, over time, the interim government has stood has stood the time, and we are seeing what the interim government is doing on ground zero. We see it everywhere, from the southern zone to the northern zone. Everywhere on ground zero, everybody is seeing the work of the interim government. There is nobody on ground zero who doesn't know the interim government prosecutes this revolution. But ladies and gentlemen, if the interim government, if this interim government is not very, very careful, we are going to have issues. And the issues come for two reasons. There is one person. I look at me eyeball to eyeball. There is one person. I have said a bad tire. I call it bad cocoa, where it enter for pot for fufu. One person. Now the problem is that when you have elected leaders without the capacity, the ability, the ability to be proactive, to take care of situations when they emerge, when they raise their head, it compounds the problem within the system. Ladies and gentlemen, many of you are out there thinking that, oh, Secretary Chris just walked away from the interim government, from a problem that emerged yesterday. The problem did not emerge yesterday. And Secretary Chris did not walk away without an effort to make sure within the House that the problems are resolved. It will surprise you that your interim government has been split for almost a year, and I mean a full year, if not more. And it would surprise you that your interim government cabinet hasn't met, ladies and gentlemen, for over 2 months. Somebody will say, hey, there was a meeting yesterday. Forget about the meeting of yesterday. The meeting of yesterday was meant to see whether this problem could be solved, and yet it did not happen. So, when I say dysfunctionality, when a government doesn't meet and sit down, discuss problems, when the Restoration Council doesn't see eye to eye with the executive, when the counties are explaining, lamenting that they have lost touch with leadership, it is a problem. And that problem, ladies and gentlemen, is not between that woman and Secretary Chris. No, I am well able to take care of my department, take care of any infiltrator in my own department. But unfortunately, when I see the whole thing trying to crumble, and we sit down and we do nothing, at the end of the day, you will come back and ask some of us, where were you before it happened? Where were you when all this was going on? So ladies and gentlemen, listen to the sound of my voice. These issues in the interim government, they are not about that woman and yours truly. They are not. They are issues that have to do with the functionality and dysfunctionality of the structures that we have in place. It would amaze you, only yesterday, Saturday, why Momo was conducting a drive, Another faction of Momo was conducting an election, ladies and gentlemen. And this has been going on. I mean, the Momo situation in particular has been ongoing for over 2 months. And we have a leadership in the interim government. Now, this is the problem of the leadership in the interim government. We need a leadership that does not wait until people walk away and then they get on television, get on the social media, shut everybody down, take them out of the forums because they are talked about, they are criticized for not being proactive. We need a leader and leadership that is elected to solve problems when they raise their heads. This problem is not a bit about me and that lady. I can handle her in my department. It is about the very existence of the interim government and, of course, the struggle itself. And we have made efforts, ladies and gentlemen, to get this thing handled in-house, resolved in-house, to no avail. You see, one of the problems here is that we are beginning to find ourselves in a situation where we behave like La Republique. The war has been going on for 5 years, and I mean 5 years, because La Republique says Anglophones don't have a problem. Anglophones have been taken care of. We gave them the national dialogue. We gave them regional councils. We gave them houses of chiefs. You know, they go round and round, do window dressing and call it problem solving. No, that is not problem solving. But unfortunately, that is the same kind of attitude that we are beginning to witness in our own government, and we cannot fold our hands and pretend everything looks okay, everything is okay, when we realize, it may bring down the whole house. So, ladies and gentlemen, I raised these issues in cabinet. Many other cabinet members have raised the issues and demanded that it be fixed. The problem in there is that we pretend as if, no, those problems really don't exist. That woman really doesn't exist. That woman isn't really a problem. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not going to give you any details here because, again, the Restoration Council is looking into this. The only reason I have to come to you to say this is because if I have to be live today, I have to tell you why I am away and why all the blackmail. Because I have been blackmailed out there. Some of you have heard that Secretary Chris is compromised. Yes, Secretary Chris is compromised. Secretary Chris had a deal with La Republique de Cameroon when his mother was about coming out of jail, and it is pathetic and unfortunate. This is coming from your leaders. They blackmail me, they slander me, and they say Secretary Chris is away because he did not go for an audit. Ladies and gentlemen, Secretary Chris is away because he didn't want an audit where? When people, instead of solving problems, begin to make the rounds and blackmail people to make them to chicken out, they have something to cover. They have something to hide. And that is what is going on here. But unfortunately, we are getting to the bottom of it, ladies and gentlemen. I have been blackmailed all over the place. Not only me, but some of you, many of you out there. You raise your voices in any forum. You are taken out of the forum. You are shut down out of the forum. You are blackmailed. You are hushed away. That is not how we settle problems. That is a la Republique, something we are running away from. Now let me say this. As you find that one woman is being protected. Listen to me carefully. One woman is being protected and she may destroy this revolution, this struggle through this interim government. Listen to the sound of my voice, and tomorrow you may say, you heard it, I told you. If you guys sit still and do nothing, this one woman will destroy this revolution. We have a woman amongst us who leaks information, the discussion that we have in cabinet, out there to everybody. We have a woman among us who is in every department of the government. Call it the LGA, she is there. The county, she is there. The department, she is there. And she came here and she told you Secretary Chris was on vacation. Ladies and gentlemen, again, as I said from the beginning, I will never be on any vacation while my brothers and sisters are fighting and dying in the bushes. I will never be on any vacation. Of course, we get tired, we can take 2 days, 1 week off, not a vacation. And it will amaze you. It will amaze you that that press conference, ladies and gentlemen, was carried out on ABC TV, and nobody, the Secretary of Communication was never informed. There are 2 under-secretaries here at Communications. None of them were informed. They were made to know about the press conference only because their service was needed to produce the press conference. But assuming that Secretary Chris was not here and the 2 under-secretaries were not here, we have what is called the State House Press Department. State House Press Department. How do you expect how would you imagine somebody leaves a department of her own, spread her legs into another department in which she should have nothing to do about it? Ladies and gentlemen, again, I will not go into the details of this because the Restoration Council is going to look into it. But I have to say this so that you guys out there understand exactly the picture here. And it doesn't only have to do with this. There are accountability issues that will have to be resolved. Just as my trip to Boye was resolved, this one will be resolved. It will be taken care of. And the one woman is at the center of it, ladies and gentlemen. They are out there trying to blackmail me, saying, oh, Secretary Chris ran away from an audit. There was never an audit out there. And ladies and gentlemen, yours truly, I don't handle money. No, I give instructions on how money should be spent. I don't handle money. I don't spend money. People in the department, they know I don't handle money. I don't carry out transactions, ladies and gentlemen. It was blackmail to the first order. Another blackmail this same lady is putting out there is that Secretary Chris demanded $7,000 for a press conference she did for $2,000. Ladies and gentlemen, again, another piece of blackmail. And recall, when people begin to formulate stuff just to blackmail somebody, they have something to hide. And whatever that they are hiding, I can assure you, we will bring it to the table. We will bring it to the table. I won't go into the details of this. Again, these issues are going to be addressed by the Restoration Council. But let me assure you, I am not walking away from the interim government. I am not walking away from the revolution. I will stay here and do what I do with all the strength and wisdom that I know how to. But listen, we will not sit down and expect the same system that we are running away from continue to grow then within us. This is a revolution. I know many of you will say that, yes, it's a revolution. But listen, if we have a government, we better practice, start learning, start practicing how to run a government. That's the point. If we call it a government, we better practice. We start practicing. One thing you heard out there is Secretary Chris wants to overthrow the government. He wants to overthrow Dr. Sako. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very comfortable doing what I do. It is the best place I can ever be because I enjoy it, ladies and gentlemen. Forget about that. Another piece of blackmail. Let me ask you, but even if I was interested to become president, tell me the sin that is in it. What is the sin? What is the crime about it? So, ladies and gentlemen, there are issues in the house. There are issues in the house, and the bigger issue is that our leaders, they're living in denial. They are living in denial. But I can assure you, we will get to the bottom of it. We will get to the bottom of it. And this government must operate the way it was meant to operate. And these women, fellow Ambazonians, if it happens tomorrow, don't say I didn't tell you. We have a dangerous cocoyam for inside port for fufu. If we do nothing, listen to me carefully, if we do nothing, we are doomed to fail. This government, it will be doomed to fail. I just wanted to clarify this so that those of you out there saying, oh, Secretary Chris is this or that, it is not between me and that woman. It is a mess. It is the mess that this woman is bringing in. And the inability of the leader that is put in place to take care of situations, to make as if there is no problem. There is no problem. She is just not a problem. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if there is no problem, we are going to actually uncover what the problem is, and we will bring to you. We will bring to you. I don't just come out to call things that do not exist. I call things because I see them. And I am not the only one seeing them. The counties are seeing it and they are talking about it. Cabinet members have seen it and they talked about it. Yes, now I am shut down on ABC. Ladies and gentlemen, I am shut down on ABC. I am shut down on ABC as I'm speaking to you. I guess those of you on satellite can still receive me, but on social media, I am cut off. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is what is going on here. But I want to assure you, these things will be taken care of so that we are not derailed. We would have to fix it to move on as a team. Yes, we would have to fix it to move on as a team, ladies and gentlemen. So that is the short message, the short clarification I wanted you to know. So what I'm going to do now, I have my website advertised there. Please check my website at chrisanu.com. chrisanu.com. Check the website there, ladies and gentlemen. Check the website, chrisanu.com. chrisanu.com. Again, this is a deliberate shutdown of the broadcast on Facebook, but unfortunately for them, this is being recorded. Now, what I'm going to do now is open the phone lines. I'm going to open the phone lines and take a few calls from you before I go. If you are on ground zero, I love to hear from you. I love to hear from you. Okay, I hope this is the first caller. I'm going to make sure that we have it online. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You are live, sir. Do you know that?
Okay. Thank you. This is Paco from Canada. Thank you, Secretary Chris, for all what you're doing, and thank you for the interview with Mr. Abdul Karim.
Thank you.
He cleared a lot of stuff. I will assure you that all Ambazonians know about this woman that you're talking about. we know, and we know everything that is going on. You in the cabinet, you have to understand that all of us, we know. And the better you guys fix that stuff, the better for all Ambazonians. That's all what I just want to contribute for this call. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Thank you for the call, sir. Appreciate it. Good to hear from you.
Right.
All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, again, trying to get the phone line over to you if you are on ground zero. All right, again, trying to get the phone lines available for you to call. For those of you who have been calling, you apparently have the phone number. Let's get to this next caller. All right. Hello.
Hello, good evening, Secretary Chris.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, I just have one worry when it comes to the community schools that it seems the interim government is endorsing. I just want to ask, who will be those teaching in that community schools, and what syllabuses will those community schools be following, and what examinations will that community school be following? Because it's some kind of a fallacy when we are running away from La Republique, and then maybe open community schools and our children still go and be writing their own exams and the rest. So how is it going to be run, or how is it going to be done? That's my humble question. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the question, sir. Unfortunately, I really cannot answer that question. I will prefer that the people running our education policy find time to address the public on that. Thanks for the call. All right. Hello.
Hello, Secretary Chris.
Hello, good evening, sir. May I know where you are calling in from, please?
I'm calling from Douala.
You're calling from Douala. Okay, and what is your contribution, sir?
Yeah, it's really a pleasure, sir, seeing you on our TV today. We have been missing you.
Sir, I'm sorry, you are breaking. I can't hear you.
Yeah, there are serious rents in Douala, and we are just trying to get your voice also, but I don't know whether it's clearer now.
Yes, it's better. Go on. Go on.
Yes, without wasting that time, I would just want to talk about 7 kata of my food. I've just discovered that in this revolution, when we start pointing fingers to a particular group, at the end, we'll discover that they were just what we were thinking they will be. Because if you still remember, Secretary Chris, I called you sometime, I think 5 months ago, when a group of people left in my 5, my 3, and it was during a lot.
I'm sorry, sir. Your network is not good. Your connection is not good. Let's get to others maybe with better connection. Hello, sir.
Hello, Secretary Chris. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
The first, yeah, I'm calling from Mezam County in Akwakwa.
Okay. What's your contribution?
What is in my mind? I will first of all thank you for reappearing on our national TV. It has been very long. Many of us were sick. Many of us were sick because of your absence. I will assure you that your reappearing is something very, very, very good for us. Let me tell you, Secretary Chris, you are talking of a woman. I'm caught by surprise that you people are talking of this particular woman, but today, let me tell you, since a year ago, looking at that woman as a prophet, from her face, her look over the TV, I saw that she had the Jezebelic tendencies with her. Let me tell you, I would like to emphasize very much on this. I would like Dr. Ngwambe to understand this. When I heard her appreciating Dr. Ngwambe very much, I knew that there was something wrong.
Yeah.
She was saying that Dr. Ngwambe was so excellent. Dr. Ngwambe, she hopes she may have a child like Dr. Ngwambe. That's the beginning of sorrow to Dr. Ngwambe. Dr. Ngwambe should be very careful. You, Secretary Chris, you are the locomotive of this regulation. And La Republique wants an order it should be put down. So if any member of the cabinet, any person activist is against you, therefore that person is being compromised by La Republique du Cameroon. Because you earlier said something, how the elite in Yaoundé were very happy that you have left the government. You should understand. We understand this on the ground. Don't worry yourself. We know if the leaders stay mute, and I think that they will allow her to destroy this our struggle, they align themselves because we can.
Hello. All right. I think I lost the connection. I think it's a poor network there. Let's see who is calling next. I like when Ground Zero calls. Hello.
Hello. Good evening, Secretary Chris.
Good evening, sir. May I know where you are calling from, please?
I'm calling from Ground Zero, precisely at the Cambe Town.
In Cambe Town. Thanks for calling. What is your contribution?
My contribution is I'm very great to see you today. Although it may be tomorrow, I will not see you because the black cuckoo is still inside the cuckoo. So I'm begging you, how you say that the black cuckoo, the bad cuckoo is inside the pot. I know that you will fight for release, for move that black cuckoo inside the pot. Because you people are many. I'm very glad to hear your voice today. Thank you. We don't have many to say.
All right.
Don't just leave you. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for calling. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you rejoining the broadcast on Facebook, they deliberately shut me down. They deliberately shut me down. That was not Facebook shutting this down. It was somebody within this government shutting it down. I just need that you know that. All right, let me take the next question here. Okay, that is a bad connection there. Hello. Hello.
Good evening, Secretary Chris.
Good evening, sir. May I know where you are calling from, please?
Yes, I'm calling from Bamenda.
Okay, what is going on there? What is the contribution?
It's fine. Yeah, first of all, welcome back, Secretary Chris. Welcome back. It's a huge relief to have you back on set for Ambazonians. First of all, I want to say that I want to thank you very much for giving us an insight of what is happening in the interim government. That's very, very important. Those are qualities of a leader, and that shows clearly that you want the issue to be resolved. So we are very pleased with that, and nobody can be above this revolution. We know you, Secretary Chris, as the engine of this revolution. You are the engine of this revolution. Not to say that you are above the president or you are indispensable, but you are the main engine of this revolution. So we are not going to take anything to compromise your service to Ambazonia. That one is very clear. Thank you very much. And then talking about those federalists, the CDN, you see, anyway, we just have to talk about them because in the end, they constitute a small threat to the revolution. I say a small threat because they can never consume more than a small threat to this revolution. We have gone very far. Ambazonians have gone very far. Ambazonians recognize the IG team. Ambazonia, at least 97% of Ambazonians recognize and acknowledge the IG. So my concern is that when we reach Boya,
after losing so many people, so many villages, these guys have the audacity to be talking about federation and so on. When we reach Buya, nobody should be talking about reconciliation and forgiveness like that. Yeah, these guys are enemies of Ambazonia. They should be considered the enemies of Ambazonia. They are enemies more than Francophones. So when the time comes, nobody should be saying that, no, these are our brothers, these are our, no, they are Anglophones. They have no business with Ambazonia. Yeah, so that's the point I want to make.
All right, thank you.
Also going to Buya, there's no doubt about that. We are dedicated, yes, we're dedicated. So welcome back, Secretary Chris. And as much, and we really believe that at the end, in the end, the problem in the IG will be resolved, yes. And even the bad cocoa will be converted into a good cocoa. Yeah, that's our ideal wish. Yeah, so thank you very much.
All right, thank you for the call. Remain safe. All right, let's get to the next caller here. Hello, sir.
Hello, good evening, Secretary Chris.
Good evening, sir. Great to hear from you. You're calling from Bamenda?
Yeah, actually calling from Bamenda. I greet you very much, and I extend my greetings to also to Abdul Karim, who is currently here back what he did here in Bamenda.
Yes.
I just have a question to ask concerning this issue of shutdown regarding our children, this issue of school.
Okay.
We have two categories of.
Yes, go on. Okay, he's having, is it reconnecting? He's having, I guess it's a network problem. I hope he can call back. All right, let's see who else is calling. I guess no other caller is calling there, but okay, let's see. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening, hello. Good evening, Secretary Chris.
Good evening, ma'am. May I know where you're calling in from, please?
I'm calling from Ground Zero, Bamenda, Mankom.
Okay, wonderful. What is in your mind?
Okay, I'm so excited to see you. I have been so worried all this while that you're not online. I've really been so worried, but since I saw you this evening, my heart was delighted. And I just want to say, any problem that is coming your way, leave it to God. Don't be worried. You know, in this struggle, God is the one that has ordained this struggle, and God put you there. You were there at the first. You were there at the beginning of this struggle. You have won our hearts, and we have seen all what you have done. So nobody can talk you down, and nobody will remove you from that place. We are the ones that are behind you. You will be there. The bad cocoyam will go out. The demon that has come to set seat of discord in that house will go out. In Jesus' name. You will be there in Jesus' name. Be strong and keep up. We rely on you, because if you are not there, we don't know the struggle is finished. So you are there, you are our hope in that place. Forget about anything, because that is the work of the devil. The devil does not want to see anything that is good. When I see that woman on the screen there, what she's doing there like that, I look at her. From the day I started seeing that woman, I've never loved her. The way she talks, she's so prognostic, she's so imposing. I don't like me her ways, and I've seen that she's a problem in that place, and God will send her out.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for the call. Remain safe out there, okay?
Thank you.
All right, let's get to the next caller. Wow, Ground Zero is ringing. All right, hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, Secretary Chris. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. May I know where you are calling from, please?
From Victoria, Ground Zero.
Wonderful. What is in your mind?
Yeah, Secretary Chris, we thank God for you coming back, and we bless God for you, and want to just encourage you that whosoever is the problem, the AMBAZONIA people should rise up. And I want to ask, where are those women that are in that department of governance? Would they sit down and see one woman to spoil the work of so many 8 million AMBAZONIA? Last 6 months, I called you and you were on air. I told you that the way that particular woman is talking to people, she's so arrogant and it's not good. And you just told me that no, we should leave it, everything will be fine. Because I saw the way, even when she is conducting, she's a mobilization, she's not the one giving money. People are giving money, she should talk politely to people. She went and brought one party, and was insulting the man indirectly on the phone, on the ABC, telling him, I will give you my own money. I know you are not working. I will give you $1,000 to draft. That was an insult. What does she think she is? She makes fool of herself. Please, we want to beg you people not to betray the 8 million AMBAZONIA, because our brothers have died. They have burned our houses. They have burned our uncles' houses in Bamenda, in Womb, in Cambe, everywhere. Please, we want to beg you people to hold the interim government with serious discipline, and that's what we call the power of an Englishman. Discipline. If we bring our leaders into table and we correct them. Thank you, Secretary Chris.
All right, thank you for the call, sir. Stay safe. All right, let's see who is calling next. Ground Zero, wow. Hello. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Where are you calling from?
Yes, sir. Please, I'm calling from Tiku.
Okay. What is your contribution, sir?
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to say that I'm so happy to see you again.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Yes, my contribution goes straight to the lady in question, which I don't know her, please. We shouldn't let any woman come and destroy our struggle, because when you are not there, you are the only person that gives us vital information, and we depend so much on you, on your program. So we cannot wait for something that we have been working for over how many years for one so-called lady or woman to come and destroy everything. As you can see, or for yourself, you know very well that many people, many women on the ground are depending on you. Some of them were sick because they have been like waiting to have information from you, but to no avail. So my contribution is simple. I just want to say that please depend so much on you and keep on doing what you are doing. Thank you very much, sir, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Remain safe out there.
Okay, sir.
All right, let's get to the next caller here. Ground Zero. Wow. Okay. Hello. 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 Please, before you call, shut down the volume of your TV. Before you call, shut down the volume of your TV. All right? Hello.
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 Yes, thank you, Secretary Chris, for picking up my call.
Thank you. Where are you calling from, sir?
I'm calling from New Mexico. My name is Anye.
All right. Thanks for the call.
Yeah, and I've listened to all what you've said, and I'm a little bit taken aback by your posture on TV and all of that. Abdul Karim just spoke with you and told you things in the house should be sorted out in the house, and you are on TV, you're blasting your own president, you're claiming that it's for the revolution, but no, my brother, I don't think so. I don't believe that. The way you are going about it, you place your case, you tell yourself how you support it. We know you've sacrificed. We know your family has sacrificed for this a lot. That's one of the things why we love you. We know that things are happening in the interim government. But look at yourself, a minister under a president. You are on national TV and you are you are talking against your own president on national TV so that we, the people, should think you are a better leader. No, sir, you are not.
Okay, thank you. Hold on. Hold on. Listen to me. Hold on. Listen to me. I'm not dropping you. I like to give everybody the opportunity to air their mind. I'm not a kind that shut people down. Listen to me. Did you hear me from the beginning when I started my talking point?
I wasn't there when the program started. But
no, did you hear when I started the talking point on this issue?
Yes, of course I did.
Okay, thank you. Now, you heard me say I have been made the rounds by the same people you are naming. When we have issues in the house, you think that the leadership you're talking about looks into it. It doesn't. For going to a year, and it is not as if these issues are not being trying to be addressed in the house, within the people in the house. But when it goes down to where it is today, instead of trying to address it, the same person, the same people make the round, blackmail yours truly, that I am compromised. That crossed the line, sir. If you're sitting upset, that is the reason.
Even if you are upset, Pastor, I do not believe that you should come on national TV and you are speaking.
Well, they came on national TV before me. They were here before me. I am just responding to that. Thank you. You have a great day. Let me take the next caller, please. Hello.
Hello, Secretary Chris.
Yes, sir, man. I know where you're calling from, please.
Yes, I'm calling from Texas.
All right.
So, yeah, first of all, welcome back, Secretary Chris. It's a pleasure seeing you, and I just want to go back. I just want to address something that the speaker before said. He said something about you addressing the leadership in on national TV or something. Now, I just want to clarify something. When you said leadership, I did not hear that as you saying, as you meaning leadership to mean President Sako. That's not what leadership is. Leadership of this interim government is just not. It's not President Sako alone. When you said the leadership was not something like will fail to address the problem. Okay.
Right.
Because the way he put it, the way he tried to say it was like you are trying to address President Sako wrongly in public. That's not how I saw it. You said the leadership of this interim government did not address the problem the ensuing problem. Okay, but anyway, Secretary Chris, it's good to have you back. You're an extraordinary guy because you do things in extraordinary ways. You have been so committed in this revolution, and we all saw that. And let me say this. Resource mobilization is not just sitting on TV and collecting money. That's not what it is. You are a resource. You are a resource that needs to be mobilized. Your talents needs to be mobilized. Resource mobilization is not just about financial resources. For some people who listen to Dr. Najop, it's not just about sitting. What this woman does, anybody can sit there and collect money and make some street mob and collect money. What you can do what she's doing, Secretary Chris, she cannot do exactly what you're doing. So, I just want to welcome you back, and we hope that there will be a solution in this that takes care of this issue. So thank you, Secretary Chris. Welcome back.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. All right. Let's get the next caller. This is Ground Zero. Hello.
Yeah, hello?
Hello, good evening, sir. May I know where you are calling from, please?
Good evening. Yes, I'm calling from Ground Zero, Abakwa County.
All right. What is your contribution?
Yeah, I want just to thank you for the services which you continue to render for us. We on Ground Zero, as in fact, you have impacted us a lot through communication. Yeah, but please, I want to beg you that know that there is an African saying that we beat a child and we send back that child only into the house, because the child already know the enemy is outside waiting for the child. That when immediately we throw this child out of the house, they will just grab the child and go with it. And maybe there are certain things that we kept in the house that the child will just tell the enemy, this is where this type of thing is, this is where this thing is found, this is where this one is found. And you see the enemy turns around now to come and attack us. So when we handle this issue, please, we should handle it with care. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Wow. Ground Zero. Hello. Hello. Where are you calling from, sir?
Actually, I'm calling from the UK with my Cameroon number. I just wanted to say something to what is going on and what is just said. Okay, I really appreciate you. You're doing a great job, sir, and I admire your courage coming out to say whatever you're saying, which is very important for the revolution. However, I know you've been pushed on the corner to come out this open to say all this. Don't listen to whatever people are saying. The president of a country like Sako had everything it takes to solve this issue without coming to public, without pushing you here in public. Like you said, it's easy for me to believe you that this thing has been going on time and again. And as a leader, you failing to address such issue in your government, it shows that you are a weak leader and you are failing. We appreciate everything he's doing. However, if you're failing within, we can't trust you out here. So I don't know when is the next election coming. Probably he's getting tired. Probably he's got his find love or friendship, a lot of friendship around him that have made him to become some kind of. Sometimes you rule with sympathy, which is not good as a government. So if it's time for another election to be called and we choose another leader, that will be fine. It doesn't mean that we're hating or something. It's a country and we can call election. When it's time for election, we choose another leader and we move on. We can't have people destroying a government. We can't have a leader that can manage a government or a problem within a government for almost a year, pushing you to come to public. I know they came here before you. I heard him talking. I heard a lot of them talking. Maybe people complaining about Irene War and stuff like that. I don't know that lady.
And everybody has been shut down from the social media, locked out, taken out of fora, just so they don't say anything. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your government. Nobody should ever have the powers to shut you down if you have something to say. And when they do that, you can rest assured they are covering something.
That's what I'm saying. You can't be a president and you can't manage your government until pushing part of your government coming to public to say things that are not meant to be said because of one lady or whoever, whatever. I don't want to know if she's right or wrong, but I believe that there's something wrong that he needs to address and address it with principles, not compromising. I don't know whatever kind of compromise. Maybe she is compromised because probably you can like people when you've worked with them for that long, but that is not a reason to keep someone that's destroying your government. If there's another election, they should call for election, and we choose another leader. We appreciate sacrifice.
Well, I will say it to you that it is not about another leader. It is about getting the House and our institutions to work, getting the counties to work, getting the LGAs to work, cabinet to work. It's a shame that the cabinet that prosecutes a revolution hasn't met for the past 2 months. It is ridiculous, and that has to be taken care of. It's not about change of leadership. It's about getting things to work, institutions to work the way they were designed to work. Being proactive.
Exactly.
Thank you, sir.
I agree with everything you say. My only reason for saying that a new leader is because I'm thinking probably he's tired. I don't see why you won't address your government for 2 months like you just said. It doesn't make sense.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, just try to put this to him, and if he can understand, let him understand that he needs to do something. We don't want a weak leader.
Thank you
very much.
Good night. Ground zero. Hello. 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 Well, before you call, shut down the volume of your TV set, please. All right, let me go to Europe. Who is this? Hello.
Yes, I'm calling from Sweden.
All right, thanks for the call, sir. What is your contribution?
Yes, my contribution, I will try to talk for our local language.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'll be happy for see you for our national TV. But I get some worried because when I look at from the day you make some audio, me and you will don't meet, we don't snap pictures, we don't meet for conference. Then you as a leader, some certain thing that you talk for our national TV, it worry me a lot. It is like you scatter the house and scatter them. You know, a lot of people don't know if you understand the thing we talk.
Okay, hold on there. Did you listen to me respond to the last but one caller?
No, at least you make some statement.
I made the statement that I have been blackmailed, I have been slandered, and told that I am out. I took off because. Now listen. We don't have to waste time about this. Listen. I get what you are talking. I get what you are. Listen to me. If you don't have to listen, I just cut you off because you have to. I'm not cutting you off. I'll give you time to talk. But if I have to talk, you listen to me to talk, and then you talk. Okay, that's a bad connection. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to call this off in the next few minutes. Let's get the man from Germany. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, am I talking to Secretary, please?
Yes, sir. You are live on ABC.
Okay. Secretary, it's nice to see you. I'm calling from Germany.
Thank you. What's your contribution, sir?
Okay, my contribution is just following what is going on right now with the previous government. As I was saying, following what is going on right now with the present government, I think it is clear for us all AMBAZONIA that we have one aim, and our aim is having our own institution and putting things in order.
Correct.
I'm not happy with the way the issue that you just said has been addressed in the House or has not been addressed. As some of our colleagues have said, it shows a sign of weakness in the leadership, which we cannot afford to have now at this present moment. I'm very glad we have people like you out there who speak out their mind. Yes, when things don't move. And I would just encourage you, my brother, not to spare any time in your life to say what is right, because the truth must always prevail. No matter how resistance we face, know that the people are behind you, and our God has chosen you to be there for a purpose. The storm may seem to be big, but it's a God loving somebody. Knowing that you are doing God's work, that's why you're there. Please stand with us.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere unless the president says, I don't want you in my cabinet anymore. I will happily stand with the struggle, still fight. I mean, I started fighting before this government existed. So I will do the same thing. I think I lost the caller. All right. Let's get to ground zero. Hello. 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 Okay, when you call, you have to stay by the phone. Let's see who next is calling. Hello.
Hello. Hello. Yes,
Hello.
good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Victoria.
Wonderful. What is in your mind?
Well, in fact, my whole house skipped up and we're jumping up when we put ABC and we saw you on live. We were so happy because we had missed you for too long and our hearts were shaken. We thought that maybe something was happening because a friend of mine tried to brief me. He couldn't give me the details of what was happening, but we said no, a thing like this. We know the Bible says that when you have temptations moments like this one, you have to put everything to God because everybody, our prayers are on you. We know how much you have been doing. In fact, you are the locomotive, like somebody said earlier. You are the locomotive of this struggle. And without you, Secretary Chris, in fact, I like what you say. I think you fight this fight almost at 80-75%. With what you say. And
more than Okoro and no PT and fee measure.
I'm talking of the diplomatic part, trying to talk about what you say on TV, how you brief people, how you educate people. Everybody is behind you. The Okoro, Field Marshal, no PT, all the other ones, they are playing their own part. But your own part too is very special. You don't know how many of the 8 million Cameroonians would always want to listen to you every evening. When I put on my ABC TV and I don't see you, I am saddened. And the entire house, even right down to children. So
all right.
God bless you. We'll continue to put you in prayer that whatever is happening, may you continue to remain firm and steady and steadfast. We are putting our prayers for you. We know that I used to know President Sako in Victoria. He's that kind of person who is a bit quiet, and I think a bit quiet to a fault, because I know him. Because the lady you are talking of, the other day when I saw her conducting the interview, I told my wife, but what is happening? Because under normal circumstances, she was not supposed to be the one. And we were embarrassed to see her. And because, like I said it before, just take your time, take have courage. Cameroonians, 8 million AMBAZONIAs are behind you. God bless you, sir.
Thank you for the call, sir. Remain safe out there.
Yes, sir.
All right. Who is next? T ground zero. Wow. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Kumba.
Kumba, K-Town. Okay. What is in your mind, sir?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Go on.
Yeah, I am following your monologue. I followed your monologue. I also followed the others talking. Like the others, we are very happy to see you back to the show. But I think that also that in every house there's a problem. And as such,
you are very correct. Listen, you are very correct. We are very much aware of that. But you also have to understand that when there is a problem in the house that takes years to be taken care of, not because you are not advised, not because people are not calling you and suggesting what could be done, but just because you just don't want to do anything, but you just want to cover up what is going on. It gets to where it is today. Go on. Hello, go on.
Yes, okay, thank you, sir. So just saying that you need to use mature minds because you are practicing. You are practicing on how you can come and lead us here. I don't think that with immature minds you will come and be doing what you are doing there. Come up to the national TV and be doing what we are seeing. It's not correct. It's true that you were blackmailed. It's true that the other person may be wrong, but somebody must stand to accept the wrong for things to move well. If the other persons or the other woman should come up there one day on the national TV and start to say, okay, this is what happened, it will be chaos. You have the right now to say because you have the access to the TV. Let her also come there now. Then we'll be.
Well, she's been here and she's been coming here, right?
Yeah.
Did you recall her saying I went on vacation?
That's not even the case. My problem is you.
Well, but I'm saying that to say that you don't understand the issues. But I hear you. Thank you. If I get to where I am this, you know that it is not intentional. Thank you. Hello. Yes, sir. Can you get closer to your phone? I can barely hear you.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Go on. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Sumter, South Carolina.
Okay. What is your contribution, sir?
First, I'm so excited to have you on today after a long time. Remember, I've been writing to you and sending you some few audios. I know that you are a very level-headed person. I've been following you for more than 4 years, even before the government of Sisiku came into place. And I know you cannot be swayed by what so many people are saying. You are very important in this struggle. And I just wish to encourage you that we try to see how those problems are solved. I remember you have been saying it over and over that we have to build strong institutions and not strong people. And I think that will make us different from the Republique du Cameroon, from which we are trying to set ourselves free. So I just encourage you and the team, please settle everything. And I heard you earlier said everything has to be settled and you move on together as a team. I like that. And I want to really encourage people to stop using some kind of words, in as much as there could be errors, but we still need to protect ourselves and protect the personality of people to see that we move on together as one.
Thank you. Thank you. I can assure you. Thank you. I can assure you I'm a team player. And if I have to say this, you know that it got into the point where it's no more doable within the inner circles. And I hope people know what I'm talking about. Because we have done everything. We have done, not me, other members of cabinet have done everything. When you have a cabinet in which the president barely see eye to eye with the vice president, again, there is a problem. And it did not start yesterday. It's going on for quite a long time. And the other problem is that there is no will to resolve it. I cannot be going into any details here, but thank you for the call. We will take care of it.
I appreciate you.
We will take care of it.
Into any details.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
God bless you.
Thank you. Okay, I have again been shut down on Facebook. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, good evening, Secretary.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Maryland. I want to thank you for picking my call.
Thank you, sir. What is in your mind?
a man to come and save Ambazonia. We Ambazonians love you and the interim government. Before I start, let me first of all comment on one person that called from Chico, that women were looking forward to see you on ABC. That was a good thing, but I want to think that when people are looking for you doing a good job, they should also do a good job. On the social media, we are seeing a lady in Buya who was kidnapped, as I can say, was kidnapped to the prison, a pregnant woman, and she gave birth, and she is still in the prison. What are women doing? What are women doing in Buya?
That is some. That is.
Because that woman has committed no crime.
That is.
What are women in Buya doing?
That is a very strong point. In fact, I was preparing this outing. I just didn't remember that. You are on the money. This so-called peace women and this in Boya, you would think that they would take to the streets demanding that a pregnant woman who was now delivered in prison be released. No. If Ambazonians do something, that's when they take to the street. But a pregnant woman is kept behind bars. I don't know how I forgot about this subject while I was preparing this outing. But thank you. You are on the money.
Okay, let me come out again now. We're talking about issues going on with the interim government. It's a good thing to bring up something which is going wrong with the government. But let me say that bringing it out, bringing the problem within the government out to the public will not be a good thing, because critics will come, or people, spoilers will come, and instead of giving good advice on how to solve the problem, they will come and say everything that will bring you against or fighting within the government. This government is something we are building, and we are still struggling. If there is an issue within the government, and the government, the president, is supposed to have advisors. The president is supposed to have other departments or other wings that are supposed to take care of certain issues within the government. And I believe that those institutions are supposed to take care of the business or whatever the problem within the government, than for the problem to be brought out to the public, because everybody is blaming one or the other without knowing the root cause of the problem.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Let me say one thing.
Okay.
For example, we see let me take example from La Republique of Cameroon. Okay. There is no day that Pobia or whoever within the government, let's say the prime minister came out to say something, and Atangani went against him, saying there will no form of government or whatever. And again, when he came to Bamenda, to Buya, the Minister of Secretary of State for Defense was there he was with peace agenda. Then the Minister of Defense was in Bamenda bringing in troops. No, they didn't bring it out to the public. I want to say that this, I will not shy away to say that bringing a problem within the government to the public is a good thing. Because when we do that, anybody that is coming up, we still have the same problem. Because if the government are not able to solve the problem, and I don't believe that the public can solve the problem. This problem has been out for over 3 weeks, but there is no solution. There is no solution from the
and you were being told, comrade, hold on. There is no solution for 3 weeks, and you were being told on TV, we are solving at, and apparently nothing, and I mean zero, was being done. I did not take it to TV. You know that. This thing, they have taken it to TV, and try to vilify me, I had to say something. I have not said anything yet. We have taken this to the Restoration Council. They will handle it. I believe they will handle it, and there we will remove the cat out of the bag. But again, all for the purpose, just for the purpose of making our government stronger, and for the detractors and the enemies out there. If somebody fools you that the interim government is down, is broken, is destroyed, never, never, not when some of us are still part of it. We will fix it, and you can trust that I will be here.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that, for everybody talking here, I've not heard anybody say, Secretary Pete, this problem is supposed to be not. This problem is not supposed to be out because the federalists, the other opponents will come in to say whatever they want to say to shatter the interim government. I want to think that every mature government should have a stand, because this public issue I cannot encourage, because if anybody encourages the public issue, guess what? Tomorrow, if you are there and all your issues within the government are pulled out, how are you going to think this is something good for the revolution? This is a revolution. We have not yet had a government. This is just like, let's say, an interim government. And if we don't start to see how we can handle things within the government, and we think the public is good, then I will say that I'm not going to encourage it, because what people do now is to put more fire, to put more petrol in the fire to catch more flames.
All right, thank you. Please cut it there so I can take.
I'm not saying that I hate you or whatever. I don't know any of you, but my problem is bringing out the problem.
All right, I get you. I think you have made a point. You made a point. Let me take other callers, please. You made a point. I hear you. Again, this will be addressed. But I think people who took this out should bear the responsibility. You don't deliberately go out as a leader, try to blackmail others because you want to cover stuff instead of solving the problems you are meant to solve. Thank you. All right. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, good evening. Where are you calling from, please?
Mr. Chris.
Good evening. Where are you calling from?
For me to meet you again, I'm calling in Gabon.
Gabon. Okay. All right. What is your contribution, sir?
Yes, I'm very happy because you picked my call. I just want to say something about the monologue that you said.
All right.
It is correct for me. It is correct for me because there are times that problems always comes in government. There is no country that has no problem. Our country has problem. The way you come out to bring that problem out of the cat, it is very good. Because if you don't bring it out, the problem will never solve. It is 1 year today. I just want to tell the other callers, at least the third caller that called, said that you don't have the right to call, you don't have the right to bring the problem on TV. Even Jesus Christ was going on mountain to pray. He went there 3 times and prayed. And the third time he came and tell his disciple that there's one man here that want to sell us. There is one person among us that want to sell me. So when the time will come, you will see the person, and the person will come and kiss me. That will be the person that is going to sell us. Even Jesus told the disciples, so why not of you coming to tell the people what is going on in the government? So you are right to make us to understand, because if 1 year a president cannot control, cannot solve problems, how can we see? problems are coming out from government of La Republique, and you people are receiving the problem, and you people are telling us, and we are glad to hear the problem of La Republique. Why we cannot understand and listen our own problem to solve the problem? So I'm saying that if the Restoration Council knows about this problem, because you have called leaders, they are leaders. It is not only Sako, President Sako, that is leader. Mr. Kometa is a leader. Why Mr. Kometa of the Restoration Council cannot come 1 year today, of which he knows the problem, cannot come and sanction this problem until up to today that the problem is coming out of TV and people are listening, which is not correct. This problem that you have been called, this woman that you are saying, this woman, let us be careful with this woman. This matter is coming out after the CDN whatsoever. This problem is coming out of that. Know that there is something behind this problem. There is something that they want to do with that woman. They want to destroy.
Well, that will not be destroyed while we are still here. You can trust that. Thank you for the call, sir. I appreciate it.
Okay.
All right.
Take care.
All right. Okay, I take the last caller. The last caller, and I go. Wow, Ground Zero has been glued on the phones. Hello.
Hello, good evening, Secretary Chris.
Good. You called in before, sir.
Not, I'm calling from.
Yes, but you called in. I took your call before. Let me take orders, please. Okay, Ground Zero. Hello.
Yes, my brother, I'm very happy on the work that you people are doing.
Thank you, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Limbe.
Okay, and what is your contribution?
Please, I really want that people should take it really strong because we are really suffering. I want that we should regain our total independence, our freedom. Because if we stay in the hand of this francophone, they will eat us like crocodile. They will swallow everything that we have in our land. They will swallow it, and they will swallow it, pass it on their day. So you people should really hold it very, very strong. They are very wicked.
All right, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. You have a great day. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the phones are still ringing. Unfortunately, I really cannot get every caller. Let me get this one caller. I think this is from the U.S. or from Canada. Let's see. Hello.
Hello, am I live on ABC?
You are online on ABC, so where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Boston.
Okay. What is the contribution, sir? You are the last caller here.
Okay. I'm honored to be the last caller. Yeah, Secretary Chris, I've never called on your program, and I follow you step by step. I've followed all your program, and I think I know all the sacrifice you've done to this struggle. But one little thing I just wanted to say, I've not heard all of what the program today, but what I just want to say is this: when you want to bring something online, I know you have the judgment to what I want to say is just that let's see whether coming it online is gonna be harmful than self-solving it in-house. Let's pray about it, and then before we bring it online. I know you are
Comrade, I get you.
Yes.
I get you, but I don't think you have been following up what is going on. I am not the first person to bring it online. In fact, I will say I am pushed and forced to talk about it. Now, you will recall I have been out of here for quite a while because of that same problem. And you would think that instead of the leadership that be saying, hey, how can we resolve this? How can we take care of this? Instead of doing that, fixing issues, resolving issues, they carry it to TV, they carry it to the media. So when I come on the media I owe the people an explanation what is going on. That's what I've just done, but I have not even, that was just an eyes of the, the tip of the iceberg. So I understand what you are saying, but I had to do this so people understand what exactly the issues are.
Yeah, I get you quite all right. But what I'm just saying, I'm just trying to analyze this from one point of view. This is what this situation is going to cause. It's going to divide people into two, not into three, because there are enemies waiting to grab something to run away with it, and there are people who are going to go on the other side who doesn't know what is going on, and there are people going to go on the other side. So they're going to be people divided into three. So what I'm just saying is that let's look at whether is it going to cause more harm than good. That's all what I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you, I completely agree with you. Of course, you cannot avoid that scenario. However, I think we've encountered other issues that ended up making us stronger. I mean, you recall the Kononge IG trying to get the IG into Kononge. You recall my trip to Boya and auditing stuff, things and stuff.
All of that.
Yeah, all of those.
I said I follow you. I am one of your listeners. Yeah.
Yes, and I think there is a certain moment where somebody has to stand up and ask for the right thing to be done. But if instead of doing the right thing, they take it to the public, and I have to explain or respond, I know some people are not happy, but I just have to. As people are like, what is he doing now? What is going on? Thank you anyways. It's been a long time here. You have a great day, sir.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will call it a day here. Unfortunately, the phones keep on ringing. I can't take any more calls. But before I go, I just want you to know two things. The school issue on ground zero. Now, you guys have to understand, I don't take those decisions by myself. There are meetings that hold, and those decisions are passed over to communication, and they are communicated. That is what is my job. Sometimes I am in some of those meetings, sometimes they are communicated, and I have to pass them to you. We have listened to the pleas of many of you asking for schools to not be shut down. Listen, we hear your cry, we understand you. I can assure you we will come back to you after a reassessment to tell you what exactly should happen. Don't be in the panic mood. We will come back to you to readdress that. And then secondly, I still want to add, ladies and gentlemen, I say the things that I said so that the house can be built, and built in a stronger way. We cannot have a dysfunctional regime or government and say we are running 8 million people with a structure that is dysfunctional, that doesn't work. Where the counties are in disarray, the local governments in disarray, everybody is complaining of one person in the system, and somebody who should do something does nothing. So, ladies and gentlemen, believe me, I will do everything to see that this house is put in order. We will come out of this stronger. Again, we will come out of this stronger. Now, please, I just launched a platform, a website, chrisanu.com. chrisanu.com. I want to invite all of you. You want news 24/7. Get to chrisanu.com and you will find a kind of news, dependable news, not social media gossip or fake news that you'll find out there. Dependable news. chrisanu.com. Ladies and gentlemen, that will be it for the day. That will be it for the day. I look forward to coming back and talking to you again. You have a good night and God bless. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ambazonians, it is about the slow but sure depletion, if not stopped. Please listen once more. This is the moment to rise up and save what remains. Like Pontius Pilate, the Vice Chancellor is fast trying to wash his hands. Ambazonians, if God forbid we fail in this war, they will take back everything they have allowed us to manage. We must remain steadfast or lose the war. They sold our institutions and our resources for positions, for money, for power, and for influence. Why we fight to recover it all? We must not allow such enablers continue selling us. We must neutralize their plans, and if need be, neutralize them too. From today, we declare an end to these permanent military, gendarmes or police checkpoints in all of Ambazonian streets and roads. It is therefore incumbent upon us to stop tomorrow's murder today.
This is the state of the struggle with your anchorman Chris Anu, Ambazonia's spokesperson.